Yeah. Yeah. Boo. Boo. She gon' bust it. She gon' rustle. She gon' yeah. What's up, baby? Tell me how you get the one up on me. Aye. And I know you ain't playing round. You about to have me down on one knee. Aye. I got that soul. Now she done came and snatched the soul out of me. Aye. She got that gold. She close enough. She open up. You go to sleep. Aye. Now if you ever get to meet her, better keep it shot about to make a supersonic man out of you. She go below the belt. You better go for help. Cause shot about to make a supersonic man out of you. I wanna be her man. Now I'm a believer. She used both hands. Now I'm a believer. Yeah. Big gun, baby. I'ma pull it out and shooting my shot. I got a feeling I can bust it, baby. Trust me, baby, I do this a lot. She do that roll. Now I'ma double tap that booty like I did. She take that pole. All the way down that choking sign gon' make me ski. I'll ski. Yeah, now if you ever get to meet her, better keep a shot about to make a supersonic man out of you. She go below the belt, you better go for help. Cause shot about to make a supersonic man out of you. I wanna be her man. Now I'm a believer. She used both hands. Now I'm a believer.
And welcome back, everybody, to the week of the Upsurge Premier League right here on Upsurge Esports. I will be your host for the evening, Ravish, the most ravishing man of the internet. I'm joining you yet again by my side, by my main man, Beat Down Boulevard.
Damn.
Good, baby.
Damn, you said that real hard. I respect it. I'm doing good, man. Real hyped out about today's matchup. I actually think this might be the closest match we have on broadcast.
Bro, honestly, I am genuinely and unequivocally inclined to agree with you. You know why? Because you're a smart guy, and I give you all the credit in the world for being able to do so. But
whoa! Who is this guy? Where's Ravi?
I know.
Right now.
I know, bro. Things change, but don't you worry, fam. I'm gonna go back to being me in just a second. But before we do all of that, right? Let's just introduce our guest for the evening. Y'all, do you know it's gonna be another week, another player here was on the desk, and today is no different. We have our main man, coach of MSU and Zeus Gaming, also known iconically as the Toilet Paper Cats, Mr. Inconspicuous or Iconic. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, by the way, let me just ask you right off the bat. With y'all being labeled so, like, it's just in popular media, you know, like going from, like, you know, all the way from, like, Monty to LS labeling y'all as Toilet Paper Cats.
Toilet Paper Cats, yep.
Exactly. So, how did you guys harness that branding and make it your own, you know? Because, like, I think it's a hard thing to just, like, take your logo and be like, no, but, like, we're Zeus, but we're also Toilet Paper Cats.
Yeah, so Zeus actually started as a picture of Alorum's cat sitting on the toilet. So we submitted that in like 50 different forms to, I believe it was Challengers Uprising at the time, to try and be like, hey, like we really want this image, like we want to be seen as like a fun team, right? they denied it every single time. So eventually they were just like, fine, we'll give you something. So they literally gave us the iconic toilet paper cat. And I think that story was like the essence of who Zeus was. So it was really fun to see everyone like kind of like make it their own story and kind of resonate with it. And I think that's what League of Legends was supposed to be. I was happy to kind of carry that story all throughout Proving Grounds, as well as all the players.
I agree. It was a fantastic turnaround, and big shout out to Doc as well, who I believe actually made actually
Yeah, he did.
made the logo. Yeah, because I remember he even mentioned that once y'all's logo actually popped up on the client,
Yeah.
you tweeted about it saying that it's like, yo, he's made it at an artist, which I got to say, by the way, that was absolutely huge. Y'all had such a fantastic run through Proving Grounds, and although it's quite back and forth at the end, but I just want to give a congrats to y'all because it was really well done.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the casters obviously make it fun too, and you guys tell the story, and you guys told it great. So that's all I can ask from y'all.
I mean, we do what we can. It's not just about us, bro.
What's that laugh?
Yeah, just like, I'm just doing me, bro. That's just me, man. But moving on past us, as always, let's talk a little bit about the matchup that we have going into tonight. That's going to be AOE was Kittens versus ISU. That'd be Redbird Esports as well. Both of these guys stay up on the screen. ISU, especially the previous winners, they're 6-0 or 5-0. Yeah, they're 5-0 currently in their bracket. Undefeated AOE, as well as I believe they're 4-2 currently within the match score, so not too far off second in the bracket as well. And one big thing is, Big Down, you let me know, bro. I'm seeing a lot of different names. Maybe it's just me, fam.
No, it's definitely not just you. Since we were talking about Zeus, Dark Wings, of course, is also on this roster. Was the mid laner from last split. You also have Fizzy, who previously played on TSM Academy. We got some upgrades in this roster. It's pretty good players.
Yeah, they're kind of good. I
Tiny bit.
did not know about this roster until a bit ago, and I already made my prediction. So I'm personally disappointed in myself and thinking, what's going to happen? I will likely be wrong. Let me just go out the bat and say it right now. This is not going to go well for me unless I can surprise everybody. So I'm already kind of
spoilers.
What's going to happen? Yeah, shh, don't tell no one, bro. It's okay. But of course, we'll of course do that for later on. But across the board, B-Town, let's start off with you first, homie. Let's talk a little bit about ISU, these staples of UPL, these titans of the collegiate scene, and which funny enough, we'll actually be seeing them face against MSU this weekend. Don't you coach MSU as well?
Yeah, I look forward to playing against them. I think it'll be a good competition, but we'll see this weekend after today.
So you're telling me you're here for a little bit of early scouting, huh? Okay.
It can work like that, yeah. Definitely a little bit of an advantage.
I respect it. Beat Down stroking his fake beard. I respect it.
Oh yeah.
What? Hello? It's no faker than yours.
What do you mean?
Mine's pretty real.
Yeah, I can do that too.
You're right. It's pretty up there. You're right, bro. Honestly, Icon fam, you got probably the realest beard of us all. So why don't you talk?
I got it shaved today.
Wow.
I wasn't informed. Sorry.
Come on, bro. It's just
we get our excuses from you, Incon. Come on, man.
You're better than this, right?
We
just expect so much more out of you. I've known you for 10 minutes, but I expect better from you, man. So you know what? Let's start off with you, homie. Beat Down. Forget your opinion real quick. In Icon, let's talk to me a little bit about your experience with ISU and what you think we can expect from them. Yeah. I said what I said, okay?
Listen, Incon, I'm an Icon. Either work. Really doesn't matter. But ISU is a pretty good team, and I think that they've been together for so long, and they have very clear ways to play the game, that they can definitely use a lot of their unique picks that they can kind of find in the mid lane to create a very large lead. Now, the top laner I know he plays comfortably the Camille, the Gangplank, so they can really look for maybe a safe side pick into an early tank pick with the Gangplank to try and get a lead that way, just so you can focus more on the mid and bot lane. And then in that clip, right, we saw their bot lane playing Ezreal Bard. Again, a lot of roam focus with that. So you're really looking for ISU to really try and play the map with either their global ultimates. Maybe ShamWow will pull out the Shen that's pretty good this patch. And we'll see them really just trying to play realistically a global game with a lot of roaming to just try and throw off AoE from a more standard game.
And I think that playstyle is going to really work for them, especially in this matchup, because AOE's Will's Kittens in their current form are very strong. Because they're one of their best players on ISU is definitely Disconnector, their ADC, and when played too, that's when you see ISU find a lot of their success. So I think you're right, Incon, and that's probably a direction we're going to see them go into tonight, especially now that GFP is playing instead of Hyper, because when Hyper is playing, because now he is no longer on the roster, of course. The team really focused a lot more around him, and to some success, of course. But now with GFP, more of a team player, can really focus putting those resources onto someone like Disconnector.
And we've seen that too, right? Because whenever Hyper comes into the game, especially on the side of ISU, it always seemed like he had a game playing around him. He knew what he wanted to do, and he executed to it too. This man walked into the lift with his chest out and said, "Pull up, I'm ready." I don't care what none of y'all got.
Did do that.
Play for jungle. It's pretty good this patch.
Yeah. It's sure.
Bro, we just played, beat, bro. You and I just played up against, like, what was it? The possibly tankiest such wanting to exist in the entire game.
No. Please. No, I don't want to talk about that game, man. No. just next subject. That's terrible. And besides, I think that's what we're gonna have to worry about next patch. On 11.9, I think the hard farming carry jungle is probably a little more what we're looking towards here, especially with what's recently quite good. I know if anybody's been watching MSI, they're starting to pop up in pick ban priority, things like Rumble, as I'm sure you saw if you were watching the games today. Diana hasn't been played yet, but when she is, she good. Morgana, of course, if she actually somehow gets through first wave bans, also really good, and there's more, of course.
Yeah, I think a really large one to talk about as well is Fiddlesticks. Actually, we've seen it. We saw him play it again, like MSI you mentioned. But it's a jungler that's been really good for so long and works really well within the amateur scene specifically, because some teams struggle a little bit with coordination, or you aren't always the cleanest on the rotation. And one well-placed Fiddlesticks ultimate can completely change the course of a game. So I think seeing that, it might be possible. Maybe not likely. Again, the Rumbles and Morgana, like you mentioned, are more traditional this patch, but we might see the Fiddlesticks. It's definitely something to look out for.
Now, we've been talking a lot about ISU so far. So like you mentioned, based upon their overall jungle pool and then what Hyper can do. And then within GFP now as well, he plays a lot more for his lanes. I'm hoping that maybe if he tries to and feels brazen enough, that he can pull the Fiddlesticks, even though we just put this out there and then, we never actually seen him play it. But like, let's just hope, guys. Let's just assume that, some today that they might pull us with some surprise pick. But moving on over the other side, for Will's Kittens. Beatdown. Give me your thoughts real quick. What can we expect to see?
Really quick, I think what they're probably going to play towards is their really strong solo laners, and I believe it's Faisal and of course Darkwings that we talked about as well. So them being really strong players are probably something that this team can leverage towards, as opposed to on the other side of ISU, who are probably going to play more towards their bot side.
Now, Incon the Icon, would you perhaps agree with Beatdown here? Because I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely inclined to say, like, yes, like win lane, win game. I would assume with the plan for Will's Kittens, that seemed to be the kind of trend that they're going towards. Just kind of flexing their muscles and doing what I just called just a hyper strat, which is walking up the lane and saying, "You want farm? I don't think so. No, step up right now. Let's go. Step up. I don't think so. My farm. All this right here is mine." But that's of course gonna be my own assumption. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be. I mean, I joked about it earlier, but playing for jungle is pretty broken this patch. I think it'll be a very large focus on trying to get lanes that can get priority, so therefore you can really take what I think is a bit of a skill disparity in the jungle. I think Trickster rank wise is a bit higher than GFP has been. So I think if you play for jungle, it can sit behind the enemy jungler that really wants to farm early, then it really makes it hard for him to play the game. And then from there, it makes the lanes easier to play. So it's really just looking for priority lanes that can then play for jungle after that. So I think it's going to be the old ISU style being played by AOE Will's Kittens. Sorry.
Okay, I respect it. I will say a small counterpoint to that too. You know, depending on what ISU is able to do, I find that ISU has been recently malleable in terms of how they want to play their styles, go from game to game to game. And I remember we saw before in the previous finals on literally how they played 4 different compositions in that best of 5, going from bot center, top center to like poke style. So it is definitely can shift along the way depending on what they feel comfortable with, but definitely with the removal of hyper, whether it does limited options, right? So I'm excited to see what GP is able to pull out, and if he can, actually, hopefully, does he get the recap at the beginning? If not, then I think they're going to be a-okay. But that's just my hopes, though. With all that being said,
I would love to be proven wrong.
well, I mean, like it's I've proven a lot of people wrong before. I am kind of the guy who's
No, he
always kind
hasn't.
of right.
No,
Kind
he's
of the
not.
guy. Well, it's just, bro. Can you let me talk for like 1 second? We'll be done. What did I say to you about? Never interrupt me again. How dare
You
you?
never said that.
Just saying, I'm known as the guy who's been able to prove people wrong. But with that being said, we do have our predictions on the screen. Everybody up out here.
Wow.
All right, I respect the plays. Okay, all right.
This guy's smart.
ISU 2-0. Wow.
Look, bro, I just want to say that I was not aware of this, or else I would have had probably a different prediction. But I stand by what I said. And I mean it, obviously.
What matters? A man of his word.
Respectable.
It's never not wrong, always forever right. And we gonna see it. Bold is my middle name because I don't have one. And I just made
Ravishing Bold Ravish.
Bold and brash, and his predictions belong in the trash.
Whoa!
Thank you. We're gonna throw it over to Casters, Chilling Walk, and Mad Magical. Let's start y'all in a bit. Hey.
Alrighty, welcome in, one and all. We're getting ready for our series. We got our quarterfinals here today to start off the playoff side. Will's already distracted by what the desk was saying, getting all those predictions over there. So Will, what are your takes on that? We have two ones on the desk, but 1-2-0. Ravish wanting to stand out away from the pack, even voting for ISU.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking. I think both of us are favoring ISU. We've seen it many times before, even though of course they had a jungle swap, Gloom Free Panda now being the starter, and Hyper outplaying for TSM Amateur. I gotta make sure Ravish ain't taking too much heat from Beatdown, man. Beatdown actually take him to the boulevard and give him a good old smackdown on the streets. I think that ISU looks like the favorites, but I ain't gonna be surprised if AOE does match take, because Wilskins, my kittens, by the way, pun intended, are looking pretty good. They got a lot of good players on that squad.
Well,
Magical.
And to talk about Will's Kittens and looking at them, the 2 losses that they had were at the very beginning of the season, when they were still kind of moving around the roster a bit. They hadn't had anything really locked down because Proving Grounds was still in full gear at the time. Now that they've gotten the roster that they want to be able to play with, they've seemed really strong, pretty much untouchable. And they're going up against ISU, a team that has been dominating in their group. They have yet to lose a single series.
Yeah, man. I mean, ISU, of course, the reigning champions from last split, still keeping up their playstyle. Again, these guys are notorious for flexing everything, and knowing that these new junglers are in the block. Alex, you got Rumble, you got Diana, you got Morgana, you got all these different junglers in the game. It just, I think, for me, it just adds on to what ISU is already known for. Even though, of course, Hyper is known for playing as those scaling games, known for playing that early game impact. GFP ain't no slouch either.
No.
And I expect him to step up and make sure that he continues ISU's reign throughout here in Upsurge and throughout the Collegiate League of Legends top 16 too. But for Wilskins, we just have to see if they can kind of step up. And of course, you mentioned that they've been ramping up throughout this entire season and throughout the entire regular season, but got to see if they can compete against the number one. That's always the number one question, man. Can they beat ISU at their own game?
And I'm curious to see how that's going to play, because looking over towards the AOE Will's Kittens and how they tend to like to play, it does seem like we kind of understand their concept a bit more. I mean, Sketch Dreams has really been outperforming everyone in that bottom lane and been someone they could rely on, but it's been all the standard ADCs. You know, you got the Tristana, you got Jinx, his Kais is also something that a lot of people talk about. Same thing with Disconnector on the other side. It's a very similar champion pool, but I kind of want to look at this mid lane before we jump into the draft. Darkwing's up against Drudozer. Darkwings is this player that has been playing a lot of the control mages, probably one of the best that we've been seeing from the Proving Grounds before, going up against Drudozer, the guy who plays whatever the hell he wants. And with the change in the meta, I would not be surprised if we see a Diana pick for mid lane, not for jungle.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either, Alex. I'm totally with you on that boat because Drudozer is down to flex whatever he wants in the mid lane.
Exactly.
Of course, sometimes, you know, he has a little bit of mistakes. Sometimes he overaggressive, shows some disrespect, but no one can deny the amount of champions this guy has played so far from last split to this split, man. Drudozer is down to play everything, but Darkwings, as you mentioned, strong control mage. What's up, man?
We gotta jump into the champion select now. We gotta get ready to see how these two teams are gonna go. The number one from the Ocean Division in ISU, and like you said, the reigning champions for Upsurge going up against AOE Will's Kittens, the number 2 seed in the Mountain Division. Only really getting the number 2 because they had that rough start at the beginning. They've been dominating ever since. They were able to take a victory over the number 1 in that seed in Revival, and if they can take down ISU, the reigning champions, I don't know what else can really stop them from being able to continually go all the way to the finals.
Yeah, honestly, it's just definitely just a feel-good kind of moment, especially if I'm Willis Kins and I beat Illinois State. But right now, as we look at the bands rumble, we saw it all throughout today. Alex, this champion got mad deeps, man. Got mad damage when it's in the jungle. Well, actually, whatever. Just that in the jungle, it just allows him to function the best. So I'm liking that ban. I am surprised that ISU is the one who is the ones who are banning it. Morgana Diana still on the table. We didn't really see a lot of Diana and MSI, which is surprising, I'm being honest.
I mean, it's also been one day of MSI.
It's only been one day.
So give us a chance to really be able to scale that up.
But we would see Morgana, we see Rumble bans, we see Morgana bans. We didn't really see a lot of Diana bans today. And I want to see if one of these teams want to pick this champion up because it is really good. But speaking of good champion, Alex, Varus is also a really good champion right here. You know, it's a champion that has been showing a lot of love in the bottom side when it comes to his versatility in compositions.
I feel like it just does really well into the meta champions that we were just talking about. The Jinx, the Tristana, the Kaisas. It does really well into those. Yeah. So taking that off the table, not really having to worry about the utility he can provide, especially for a team like ISU that tend to like to be able to play around Drudos or around GFP, even though it's not necessarily hyper, they still play around Gluten-Free Panda. He's still someone that you can always fall back to. He's someone who's been pretty much studying from a hyper himself and been a player that has played hyper.
With the rest of the bans, though, Alex, we do see the Thresh ban from Will's Kittens. Pretty solid ban, especially on the red side, knowing that it's still, it's pretty much expected. The most versatile support right now in the game. Beats Alistar, beats Rel, beats Leona because of Flay. So nothing too surprising. Lulu is actually a little bit surprising, though, knowing that it's been showing some love in these solo lanes and has been influential when it comes to playing these hyper carry 80 carries. Kiana's something surprising, though, I'm not going to lie. I've seen Darkwings play this quite a bit back then. And, this is a champion that's kind of creeping up, Alex. I've been seeing it come through picking bans quite just a little bit. And this is something that can turn a lot of these team fights around. Still assassinates carries in the backside, still the same way. And then we look at her team fights around neutral, still same amount of impact going on too, and threatens that backline, as I said. And ISU, they got Disconnector, a person who loves sitting that backline, along with that, the only 80 carries that can play Seraphine for himself too. But let's see what the first pick is. What's up, bud?
Nocturne ban, final ban. What does that leave open? Two big picks, Morgana and Diana.
Morgana, Diana, Tristan is available too. Like, a lot of flexes are available. Lilia is still playable too. If GFP wants to play it, he has to play that champion a good amount. Just wonder if he wants to pick up that Morgana.
I feel like the Morgana is a safe one. It's that flexibility that she provides because you don't have to put her into the jungle. It's something that you can put in the jungle if you want to, but you can easily put that into Nazca's hands in the bot lane if you want to be able to get something like a Caitlyn Morgana bot lane, the power that can provide depending on what they want to be able to get for Sketch Dreams here on the side of Will's Kittens.
It also helps out too, knowing that you can actually catch people from a long distance away, so it amplifies heavy engaged compositions as well. And along with that, if people want to dive in, you got them soul shackles, baby. You're going to chain them down to the ground if they jump in on your composition. Speaking of jumping in, we got the most notorious Goomba Stomper in the game, Tristana being picked up flex between Dark Wings and Sketch Dreams. That's a good little tune in. Dark Wings and Sketch
Wait,
Dreams.
is
I like
she
that.
the most notorious, or would Nar be?
Tristana, because the resets, man.
Yeah, but
Let's
you
be
have
honest.
to actually get the reset off that one.
Yeah,
Nar
but
just normally hops away.
But the impact of it hurts a lot more, you
Okay,
know?
that's fair.
Yeah,
I'll give you
yeah.
that point. But now we get a Karma
Okay,
picked up.
I like
And
it.
speaking of flexes, this does not have to go into that pot lane. Does not have to be for Fizzy. Darkwings can play this. They can even flex it top lane if they want to. For Faisal, if they want to see if that's going to be something a little bit more powerful in that hand as well.
It's a 4-way flex. Like you said, it can be played top. But remember, Alex, it can be played mid,
Oh.
AD carry, and support. Speaking of which,
Oh,
Illinois State, they've been flexing this
Oh.
Seraphine since, like, the moment Disconnector picked it up.
right.
Disconnector's been spamming. He had a little clip on Twitter, by the way. I don't know if you saw. He did a flash encore and landed on 4 members, and that basically wiped up the entire game for himself in that solo queue game. Disconnector Seraphine is no slouch, and knowing that Karma's
No.
being picked up, AOE, we have to see if they have an answer to this bottom side, because I think a couple weeks ago when we were watching the ISU and they played Seraphine Bard, they did get tackled down.
And see, this is the only thing that I'm kind of looking now towards ISU. Morgana's been picked up. Seraphine's been picked up. Set has been picked up. We need some damage to be able to back this up. They got a great frontline tool in this set that can be flexed around as well. They have so much flexibility on ISU. This is a team that we've been seeing this for so long anyways. How much they move things around, the tools that they're able to provide, that every one of them is able to pick up. But where these goes and then what they're going to be able to utilize to back those up as well is going to be the big indicator of how this ISU composition is going to be able to function. Especially, I know you like this Olaf just because it's able to get through a lot of what ISU has. It's hard to stop him from running into your backline.
And not only that too, Alex, but I don't know if you know, but back then when Set was one of the stronger champions in the solo lanes, Olaf was one of throwback counters if you know how to play it.
Whoa,
So,
okay.
Faisal
Faisal could play
Yeah.
that top lane, but I don't know if we're gonna see that. I feel
We'll
like
see,
that's
we'll
gonna
see
be a
what
trickster
happens.
pick.
It definitely is a trickster pick more than likely, but if Wilskins want to flex everything down, such as ISU do too, I would definitely want to send Olaf in this set lane because you basically just withstand everything. You slow him down. You just basically skill check him when it comes to damage, and when you get lower, you just kind of beat his head in. So I'm definitely down for that.
That's
One
fair.
thing I am kind of curious of is where this karma is going to be going because it will reveal the rest of the composition.
Jungle.
Wilskins. No. Stop.
Why?
I see you blinking out there, Alex. That's not going to go jungle, man.
I know. I'm expecting it, just kind of looking at it. I wouldn't mind that actually in mid lane for Dark.
I like it in the mid lane, yeah.
Right, just because with the Olaf paired up, you can make it so you can speed him up even more, be able to chase people down to the skirmish potential. That's going to be the big thing to me, because if this is going to be gluten-free Panda playing this Morgana, a great way to be able to beat her is early skirmishes. Try to see if you can fight her early, dodge that Dark Binding, and boom, she's dead.
Yeah, if Karma goes in the mid lane too, Willis Kittens, if they are reading that ISU is going to be putting the Seraphine in the bottom side, you can pick a heavy bottom lane and just dive it over and over again because Seraphine's biggest weaknesses is that early lane, Alex. But for the rest of the bans, though, Gangplank being banned away from ShamWow, been a top laner who's one of the better top laners who can pilot that champion. Alex, of course, being banned away too, which is surprising.
I think Rel's going to be picked here for Will's Kittens right away.
Maybe if they really want to go in for some more engagement, it can definitely work out. Blitzcrank still on the table too. Of course,
I do love Blitzcrank.
yeah, of course, Black Shield can stop all of that from occurring, but still a good pick overall. And it's an easy burn of a spell, man. You trade Book for Black Shield, you take that trade any day.
But this is kind of why I like the Rel. The Rel, it's like you can only Black Shield one target. You're only going to be able to save one person. Rel's going to be disrupting the entire backline, be able to really back up something like an Olaf, but it looks like it is going to be the Grog is something that you can flex into the top lane, that if it is into that set matchup, doesn't really have the worst time to be able to deal with them.
I like this, man. Right now, Willis Kittens have technically 4-way flexes. More than likely, we're going to be assuming that Trickster is going to be piling the Olaf. So 3-way flexing going on with the Tristana, Karma, and Olaf. ISU, of course, have another 3-way flex on their side, too. This is where you actually have to play around with the clock, Alex, and you have to determine who's going to go where ASAP, because if you don't determine that right now, it's going to get real tough. With the ship being locked in, though, Alex, ISU's damage is mad lacking.
Right.
That's
the thing for me.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the damage deal?
You need a hyper carry.
You can
Jinx on the
technically-
table.
Jinx is on the
Jinx
table.
on the
and
table.
Seraphine does not have terrible damage, nor does Morgana. But with an Olaf, and it's going to probably be that tank Gragas. Juggernaut composition! Juggermaw! Okay, you wanted the damage, you wanted the hyperscaling. There you go. Kog'Maw coming in from Disconnector. Or it could still be for Drudozer. We don't know yet.
My God, man. All right. ISU has picked their quarterback. They have many options to draft this quarterback, Alex, but they've stuck to the Kog'Maw. I haven't seen this champion come out in a hot minute, but expect Kraken Slayer, expect Windsuits, expect all this on-hit damage coming on in.
Ooh,
and then the mid lane. Yeah, mid lane, we're going to have a Cassio for Dark Wings.
All right.
And remember, this is a guy who's been notorious for being people straight up in a one-on-one. And you're playing that Cassiopeia into a Seraphine, which is just going to survive all the way through. Now we're going to be looking fine, but that's what Cassio likes to do, man. Just sit there, scale all the way up, and then, we'll be okay.
All right, so Will, is it going to be support Set or support Shen? This is a genuine question. This is not me memeing like I normally do. This is a genuine question.
So here's
I feel like the Shen's better into Gragas.
Yeah, this is where you legit have to kind of play a Catch 22, because if you put Set in the bot side, it depends, man. Because you put Set and Shen on the bottom side. If you play into Karma, it's not a fun time.
No.
You're just gonna get poked out. Set's probably gonna do better in support, but if they're both into Gragas, they're gonna be perfectly fine. So honestly, it's real tough, Alex. I'm being honest. Or you could send the Seraphine. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I forgot to mention this. You could send the Seraphine bottom if you know that the Karma's gonna go bottom too, and that means just a neutralizing bottom
but the Karma's
side.
going top
But the
lane.
Karma's going top, which is a good matchup for the Karma. Shen is gonna get his head beat in. In the mid lane, Drudozer has to mad skill check Darkwings when it comes to him running through and getting the Facebreaker on top of Darkwings too. And then bottom side, it's still no skill check. If Fizzy gets a sick body slam, sick ultimate at 6, then Seraphine isn't gonna have a lot of fun either. Man, this is probably the first game where we got mad flexing, and flexing changes the entire lane setup. Because if Karma went bottom, Seraphine goes bottom, it's just a neutralizing lane, top side's neutral, mid lane, probably Darkwing's favored. If Seraphine went mid and then Gragas goes bottom, Karma's go top, then it's all good for the Shen set. All these rock, paper, scissors. It's basically what happens, man.
So the thing is, I was even thinking too, there's a world where we have Cassiopeia go bot lane too.
That's another thing too, yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, if it's a Shen bot lane, you send the Cassiopeia bot lane, you send Tristana mid lane. There's so much these teams could do. But respect to both of them. This was a big mind game coming in from them, trying to see if they can get the upper hand over opponents that they knew were going to try to do the same. ISU is this team that we have always praised for how much they have moved things around, how they've constantly tried to innovate things. And AOE's Will Kittens were here to match them at every step of the way.
It's crazy how many permutations that you can come up with this draft, man. Like, you can shift anything, and that changes up the entire not the composition itself, but then just change up the flow of the early game. So I'm surprised. I'm honestly down. I love all this flexing, not gonna lie. They're looking like Kangas right now. Every time he uploads a Twitter video of him lifting some weights.
That boy got some mad muscle there. I'm jealous.
These players got some mad muscle too. Well,
that is true.
Whoever's drafting for them got a lot of muscle in their head.
It's the wrinkly brain up there. That's what they've got them for themselves. It's
man.
Well done going out to the coaches and the staff for both of these teams. Because now I kind of want to talk about what we've got here that we got to see happen. It feels like for the side of Will's Kittens, this is a composition, while it has scaling options, they kind of do want to skirmish early. We wanted to see this Karma be somewhere where it can help out Olaf early. This is the only reason why we mentioned mid lane, but being top lane still provides that ability to help out in early skirmishes to try to see if they can contend against GFP on this Morgana. But the problem is then Drudozer on Set is a great skirmishing tool too.
Yeah, that's where I was actually thinking about what AOE Wilskins want to do, because the Cassio, even though it was a good pick, it's kind of a left field, Alex, I'm being honest, because Cassio itself innately, she don't want to walk in. She don't want to slither her way into team fight. She want to sit there and make sure that her tail's rattling, to make sure that she's pushing any sort of predators away.
She's not a rattlesnake.
She can be a rat. Well, it depends on the skin.
She can be, but that's
depends on the skin. We'll see what skin she rocking. But regardless, Cassiopeia usually wants to stay stationary. And that's where I wonder if maybe they picked a different mid laner who can actually accelerate and push everyone else forward.
that made me think, why isn't there a champion that is just a rattlesnake, you know? And but imagine this. Like, one of its abilities would be it rattles its tail and it's a taunt.
I mean, I'm down for it.
I still want a camel. I still want a camel champion that spits at people.
I know, yeah. You also want like a little troll champion too when it comes to character designs too. I remember we were talking about that.
Hey, I have good ideas. Let's be honest. I got some really good ideas when it comes to champion
By the
design.
way, I don't know. Me and Alex were talking like way back when, but he had like this idea of an 80 carry, but instead of like throwing,
It's an ogre. It's an
it's an ogre
who
that
throws rocks at people.
Yeah.
And you
it
can
attacks-
change the size of the rocks too to
Yeah.
the smaller ones that throw faster but deals less damage, or you can throw bigger ones that attack slower but deals more damage and it's AOE.
And that's just
And then he has a
basically-
big old boulder as his ult that he throws and it knocks aside anyone that it hits.
So just imagine like
These are big
Aphelios,
These are
but
big
like
brain.
a worse Aphelios that just throw like
What
just
you
throws
mean
people-
worse of fell?
He just changes guns. Instead of changing guns, he changes boulders, dog. What
It's
you
more,
mean?
No. It's more like Jinx. It's like a toggle kind of thing. Yeah, it's more like Jinx, except it's slightly different on how they function, as well as you have some self-peel for yourself.
Sure, whatever.
Big
But
brain.
yeah,
He's
that
your big
that
brain.
was
He's small brain over here.
that was his version of an 80 carry.
Smooth brain.
And also does the big one does AOE whenever he
Yes!
chucks it, right? Yeah.
Yes. And then he's got a big boulder
But-
as his ult that he chucks and it
So
knocks
then-
people aside.
So then what happens when he builds Runon's Hurricane? Is he chucking more boulders too, or what's the
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
No, that feels broken. Actually, let me ask you this: is the big boulder a skill shot that shoots straight like Twitch, or is it actually
The
just
big
like a
boulder
homing?
is a no. The big boulder is a skill shot.
Okay, so when he's thrown, it's legit just a straight line, so you can flash away.
Yeah.
It's just that if it lands, it does mad damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
All
like the idea is there's a lot of skill behind them. It's a lot of skill expression with this big old guy, but he's also slow. But the thing is, he's slow, so he's an 80 carry that can't move very fast, but he's got built-in tankiness, so he can get like a shield for himself. But the thing is, he's pretty but he can't move. So if you just get away from him, you're gonna be fine.
I can imagine like him throwing like small little pebbles. You see the movie Jack Frost?
Hey,
Alex?
hey! Whoever's in charge of this, that's like the reason to listen to me. Is that I like Omewrecker, best item in the game, 100% win rate. This
Alex,
is the reason to listen to me.
Alex, you see the movie Jack Frost from like with Michael Keane way back when?
Yeah.
Do you remember like his little scene where he's like doing his little things like this and he's throwing snowballs in? That's how I imagine your ogre throwing those small little tiny pebbles.
Yeah,
Is that how it
exactly.
is?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
By the way, just so everyone knows, we do have a pause. So right now, we are kind of waiting it out, trying to see if we can get back into the game. We don't want to say too much about the compositions themselves, because these are really fun comps that I feel like it's going to be better to express in-game. We can discuss a little bit more in the meantime. But I've talked about my ogre champion. You need to talk about your champion design.
Oh, okay. All right. This is all right. According to Alex, this is the most. I agree too.
It's
This is
very
one of the most complicated
It's very
champions out
complicated.
there. So
That's why I couldn't even describe it. I have to let him do it.
All right. So it's basically a yin yang champion. You know, got white, got black, and then how it works is that instead of a mana bar, it's a yin yang bar. It goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Either way, you become yin yang. But the idea is that you got to make sure that bar is straight up balanced. Because if it is balanced, you're doing true damage. If you lean one side or the other, you do AP, you do AD, and then there's like sweet spots with this ability, yada.
Well. Now that we're into the game, the pause is done. I'll have you bring that up another time. Unfortunately, we don't have another hour to kill for you to really describe this entire champion.
They already got the idea. They got the idea. You have to manage that bar.
Right.
That's it.
But now we got to talk about the champions. We got to talk about the teams. It's the quarterfinals for the UPL ISU versus AOE Will's Kittens. And with these two compositions brought in to this game one, I'm really excited to see how they're going to be able to function, because ISU, they kind of need to be able to make it so they can get to that 20-25 minute mark if they really want to be able to succeed.
Yeah, straight up, man. You're putting all your eggs on Disconnector. And while he is one of the best...
He's got Ghost, too.
He got Ghost, too. He is one of the best champions who can play in the late game situations, because he's definitely clutched things out, as Drudo's doing some good old crunches in Summoner's Rift. Disconnector is a person who needs to make sure that he is A-OK and he's 100% safe. Everyone's going to be protecting this boy. You got the Stand United. You got the Black Shield. You got Noska singing some songs like It's the Hunting Horn in Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World to buff up Disconnector. That's going to be the game plan, where if you look at AOE, if you look at the Will's Kin squad, it's all about that early game, man, making sure that Making sure that Trickster can pop off in the jungle is a really crucial thing. If Sketch Stream starts popping off in the mid game too, ISU is going to be looking pretty scary. Drudos, though, can definitely skill check Darkwings in the mid lane. Like I said, you can't build boots because you don't got legs. With that being said, Drudos can just walk up, face break him, smack him 1 or 2, and then walk away.
All right, look, Nami can build boots, and she ain't got legs, so why in the world can't the snake have hat? But whatever, you know, that's a gripe I can have for another time.
Because you got Snake in Cassio's boots, man.
Hey, exactly, that's what I'm saying! You can definitely have... I don't know. All right, getting back into this game. So, right now, GFP, getting a pretty good clear. We're expecting that Morgana, just how she is, she's such a fast clear, such a healthy clear, that it's going to be able to clear everything, look for something sooner rather than later, while Trickster on the other side, just so people know that jungle is weak, is Trickster. We're going to refer to him as such. Is going to be trying to contend against the Morgana and how fast she can clear out this jungle. And I'd like to see if maybe, just maybe, there might be a little bit of a skirmish around this bottom scuttle, since both of them are on the bottom half. Unfortunately, Sketch Dreams and Fizzy have been chunked out so low.
I was going to mention that, Alex. That health discrepancy, mad big for ISU right now. And along with that, Nazca, of course, going to be able to heal up, especially when level 3 turns around. If I'm Willis Kittens, I got to give up that bottom scuttle and make sure that you give that grab over to GFP.
Oh, Drudozer. You missed the cannon, man.
All right, well, ISU.
Rip.
I guess got to go to game 2. I guess you missed one cannon. That's it, man.
That's it. It's game over, man.
That's it.
Well,
like
that's why he gave the emote there. He's like, he understood. He's like, ah, man, I messed up that one.
It's like the golden snitch in Harry Potter, except you got to get that cannon.
Wow, that was a lot of damage. Look at this Darkwings playing
yeah.
this one so well to force him off of those ranged minions, even if it's only a minor CS lead. That was a great trade just to be able to push him off.
Yeah. It's all just because Drudozer doesn't want the wave to crash on a turret, but then good punish from Darkwings, especially when Trickster was going to rotate himself from his bottom camp all to the top side. So I'm liking that already.
All right, we got another pause. Unfortunate, we got another pause. So we'll continue on your your champion.
All right, so going back to the champion of this yin yang champion, ladies and gentlemen. So imagine like he got 2 fists, but then he got some blades on it. He throws it like that, and then the outer ring is like AP, and then there's like a lower ring that's physical damage, but then the middle part is true damage. And when you hit that middle one, if you sweet spot it, you get double bars on both sides. But then if you hit the outer one, it does magic. And you get one side. You hit the inner, it does physical, and does and he gets the bar from the other side. That's how it is. You start from 0, you get 1, 2, 3, or you get 1, 2, 3, and the idea is you gotta keep it up, keep it balanced, man. And if you get 3 full bars on both sides, your ultimate is gonna be insane. Forgot what the ultimate does, but if you swing one way or the other, it does like different things. You got 3 different versions of ultimates. That's how it is. It's the same thing with W and E.
Listen to his champion design and listen to mine. My guy throws rocks.
It's cool AF though, bro. It's cool
Super
AF,
simple.
man.
Super easy.
No.
His has rings about it and what on. Okay, we got out of the pause, so we're back into the game. So Drudozer is trying to cancel back. Okay, Darkwings doesn't have enough mana, but you gotta respect it. Still, it's like even without that much mana, Twin Fangs ain't that costly of a spell. You can sling a bunch of those out beforehand.
This is one thing that a lot of people have been criticizing Drudos, that sometimes he make some really disrespectful things, and that was an example of one of them where he's just stepping up, trying to see if he can stop Darkwing's reset, but then Darkwing's just swinging back with them Twin Fangs, as you said, trying to milk that venom, but unfortunately it's going to bite back. Fizzy going for the engage.
Nice double knock up. They got the explosive charge. The flash in on a disconnector. Still alive. Nice root coming in from Natsuko. Sketch Dreams trying to be able to get away, but Drudos are going to be able to pull back in Fizzy. Instead, they're going to be able to focus on the support. If you can get the kill over to disconnector, that's going to get this Kog'Maw started immediately. They're waiting it out, but first blood still goes over to Drudozer.
Yeah, they want to try and get rid to Drudozer, to Disconnector, but unfortunately Drudozer just wasn't ready for Disconnector to throw out that little slow field that he has. So, a little unfortunate, but ISU still coming out with a solid counter attack. And I was a little afraid of Disconnector because he doesn't have heal, but Ghost helped him out just enough. Sketch Dreams, though, I like this. He stuck around to make sure that the wave actually crashes and bounces back towards his side, so that Disconnector actually loses this loses this entire minion field. But pay attention to Disconnector real quick, because this flash biosam was real nice. However, take a look at Sketch Dreams. He can't really continue on to the fight, and that snare from Nazca changed up everything, especially with his TP coming in.
The TP from Drudozer to be able to then chase down the kill onto Fizzy.
Yeah.
It was a nice play coming in from the side of ISU to be able to capitalize on that play. But now, we go back to live. Gonna be able to get the miasma with the Petrifying Gaze. A lot of damage. No Black Shield. It's gonna be kill easily for Darkwing. Drudozer trying to be able to get away. Has the Haymaker Shield. That's gonna be a pretty big one. But that's a lot of damage coming in. Oh, the turret nearly taken down. Darkwing's barely surviving. Sliver of HP.
All right, Darkwing just giving a little shrug off the shoulder. Ain't no pain, ain't no game, man, my man. But regardless, GLP getting tackled down is such a great thing for Kittens, and they're still looking for some more.
Yeah, he's
no
been
face
staying
breaker, man.
around way
That's
too
it.
long. Hey, Maker Shield with the Stand United. Looking to see if they can turn this around. Trickster, where's he got to run? He's got no Ragnarok either, so ShamWow gets himself his first kill.
All right, a little bit of overextension from Kittens. They thought they had it, but they were not ready for ShamWow to come in and back up his boy at the back end. And real good counterattack. That kill also goes over to Drudo, so he can still maintain this mid lane matchup for himself. But we got some more action coming in because Fizzy,
no flash.
he's looking for a flank. He hex
flash,
flashing.
no
Oh, no, he don't want it.
Ghost,
He don't want it.
The thing is, I think he was spotted out just barely.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they wasn't going to be that great flank they thought they had initially. And now Natsuka
no,
stepping up really far. Had to flash. That's a lot of damage coming in. Disconnector does not have the damage just yet. And you can see Natsuka was nearly taken down, but the shield was enough to be able to keep him alive. Now trying to see if they can get the kill coming in from Disconnector. Nice barrel to be able to dissuade them from continuing any further, though.
Yeah. Good little punish, though, from Kittens. It still shows that they still got some fight left in them, especially on that bottom side, to try and tackle down Nausicaa. And I love that little play that they did. Making sure that flash is gone means that when Trickster wants to show up on the bottom side, no flashes on either one. And along with that, no exhaust you for just a small little bit. And take a look at his clear path, Alex. Trickster, he's path towards the bottom side. And if bottom side of ISU is still sticking around, they're going to get mad punished.
Right now, I'm looking at this mid lane. Darkwing's able to get a nice shove in, but he's pulled back in. Unfortunate disconnect coming in. The flash in from Darkwing's barely surviving. About to get that Petrifying Gaze back off a cooldown. Was able to survive the gank. A little bit of a discoordinated attack coming in from ISU.
That legit should be a free kill.
ShamWow?
Wait, whoa.
Faisal flashed in. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about that mid lane, even though Faisal got a solo kill. Congrats him, but Drudozer and GFP, y'all can't be missing up on that combo.
We're not done. We're not done. Look at
we're
Trickster.
still fighting?
Look at Natsuka. Look at Fizzy. Everyone right now looking to see if they can join into this fight. And ShamWow is about to come off of cooldown from being able to respawn. Ragnarok was popped, trying to get the damage onto Natsuka. Has no flash, but has the Dark Shield. But it's going to be able to stay alive with the help of the Smite. Finally taken down by Disconnector. With ShamWow on the other side looking for the flank. Wants to be able to get the Shadow Dash. Nice use of the zone with that Petrifying Gaze to stop any further fight. But still, that was a little bit of a overextended fight coming in from Kittens.
Yeah, man, they thought that Trickster thought he was real sly, trying to play some Metal Gear Solid on the backside, but unfortunately got caught out by Nausicaa, and that exhaust helped out a ton. However, ShamWow got to pay a little bit of that price on the top side because he lost a plate for that, and he lost a little bit more. But this is where we take a look at that bottom. Oh, I guess we're not looking at that replay. Regardless, though, Kittens still answering back pretty dang well. Only a small goal lead that is marginal for both these teams here.
Here we go.
Take a look at that bottom side. This is where Nausicaa and Disconnector spot out Trickster. And Trickster, of course, he does tackle down the squisher, remember. Tackles on Nausicaa. Even though Black Shield comes through, it's not going to stop any physical damage. It's a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, but who does that kill go to, Alex? It goes to the man who wants all them kills. There's a reason why he's called a Void Puppy for a reason. He ain't no Cho'Gath. He's Kog'Maw. He'll be eating everything.
And that's the big problem to me, is that sure, you know, Trickster, it was a cool, tricky little flank. You tried to be able to live up to your name, right? Be able to have a nice flank, get yourself a kill. But then you gave up a kill to Disconnector, to the Kog'Maw, who's sitting 1-0-1 right now. Being able to farm up well, not really pushed off of the wave by Sketch Streams. In fact, nearly dead even there in that lane, which is what you need for ISU. So long as this Kog'Maw is not put behind, that is going to be their win condition. That's always been their win condition with this draft.
It's 10 minutes in too, Alex, and for right now, Kittens, unfortunately, they're not snowballing the way we want to see. We want to see Trickster probably be like 3-0 right now at this point, making sure he has all the kills under his belt so he can actually tackle down Disconnector and Nausicaa on the bottom lane. You know, make sure that they jump him and make sure they sack him onto the wayside. But the longer this game goes, Alex, ISU, they're going to be looking real good. Disconnector is going to be looking real good. He even went Cole to make sure he's still getting a more influx
yeah,
of gold.
you're Kog'Maw.
I
You
mean,
just need to be able to scale up, my dude.
Yeah,
Although,
but the thing is that he ain't getting punished. He ain't getting punished in that kind of way, and that's where I would need to see Willis Kittens punish this weak bottom side, but instead, they want to see if they can punish Dark Wings.
if they can kill Darkwing, now pulling him back underneath the turret, even with the Petrifying Gaze, they're going to be able to get the Soul Shackles. No real dice there coming in from Darkwings. A little too late. Trying to use the Ragnarok to be able to chase down, but Stand United not going to be enough to be able to save him. Drew Dozer's got to be careful. The damage coming in. Can he pull him back? No shield. Double kill comes in from Trickster.
And then when I say Trickster ain't snowballing as of yet, he's snowballing now. Before I get to that bottom side,
bot lane, they got 2 kills. When did that happen?
Okay, all right, okay. I guess both these teams are going to get their win conditions earlier on, because right now Trickster is 3-2-1 with 2 go Bonnie, but Disconnector, he 2-0-2. He looking real good. He's doing his job to make sure he gets to the end game. You also got to play too, man. But replaying the mid lane, this is where it was a real good job, and now credits to GFP, because this is where they adapted. He's not going to throw Bonnie anymore. He's going to walk up, Soul Shackles, Dark Wings down, but I don't think GFP expected that amount of magic damage to come through, because at this point, all Trix has to do is just sack the Morgana and tackle her down. Stay United comes up, of course, but it's not really going to change anything.
No, unfortunately, it was just not early enough. So it was a lot of damage that was thrown out, and this is kind of what we talked about with Olaf, his ability to be able to skirmish, and we were expecting it to be around Faisal top lane to be able to use like Karma, but it's been more Darkwings. Darkwings has been punishing Drew Dozer in this mid lane. Look at the CS discrepancy alone. Even though Drew Dozer has been all over the map, he hasn't been able to stop Darkwings in the laning phase.
It's all about that mid lane matchup. Like I said, Drew Dozer needs to skill check Dark Wings and needs to call for some backup in this mid lane. Dark Wings, he's still okay. Even though we haven't really put a lot of line out to him, he just needs to scale too, and eventually he'll become a threat when ISU wants to dive or turn around the fight after a Willis Kittens look for the engage. But they have to be mindful of Disconnector. They have to be mindful of whose Disconnector is hitting left and right. Because the moment he gets that Kraken Slayer online, once he get that Gwynsu's, ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
He gonna be hurt.
Be rough.
He gonna be hurting.
And this lane's already looking rough for Sketch Streams, for Fizzy right now. Look at the lead Disconnector has, not just in the kills, but in that CS. This is a Kog'Maw lane we're talking about. Now they're looking to see if they can get more kills with that damage onto Fizzy, barely alive. But look at Sketch Stream trying to jump into the back line onto Natsuka, taking way too much, having to jump back out to be able to survive, while Disconnector getting Faisal, focusing him away, trying to see if they can all get back, because they see the Goon Squad coming in from Willis Kittens. All the while, Tricks are getting a lot of damage pulled back in, with the damage coming in the back line. Huge Petrifying Engage, but not going to be able to get the kills just yet. They're all focused underneath the turret. ShamWow has not been a part of this. This is a 5v4. Dark Binding gonna go wide. Nobody dies in the fight just yet, but they're not done. You can see the damage on the Gluten-Free Panda gonna force him back underneath the turret once more, with Trickster now the focus. Can he survive long enough? He's taken down by Disconnector. Gluten-Free Panda flash down Buster Shot to be able to get the kill. This entire time, Dark Wings though, he's been ripping him apart. He's got double kills for himself, and no way can the Void Puppy's death get anything back for the team. That is going to be AOE Kittens getting themselves more in this fight.
Man, honestly, you wanted that money. They won that gold. They got hungry for that chocolate, Alex, but you can't be doing that when ShamWow does not have that Stay United to back yourself up. It legit just came off cooldown when this fight came out through. They just had to be patient on this, man. You don't have to contest them on this control ward. You don't have to walk up, but they did. Look at GFP. He took a Q and he took an X. He's like, I'm out of the fight. But then we take a look at Judo's. He's like, nah, guys, we got to fight this. And then GFP, he steps up. Legit, Sketch Dream just flashes, throws that ultimate down, and the moment Disconnector falls down, that's it. Willis Kittens already won that game. They won that fight. It's not what we want to see from ISU. We see them play a little bit more disciplined, but they legit just had to be a little bit more patient, man. And if they were a little bit more patient, that fight probably could have been theirs, because Willis Kittens, they were all still legit 100, 200, 300 HP. They all could have been flying down.
And the biggest problem for me with that fight coming in from ISU is the fact that they got so hyper-focused on killing Trickster, but there was no escape plan. There was no way for them to get out because Dark Wings was full health. That's the damage source that you really have to be threatened by. And now Disconnector, oh no, he's not alive. I thought he was going to be able to survive with the help of that shield, but man, is that so much coming in from Trickster at this point.
Trickster legit just wanted Disconnector is like, hey, sit. Good boy.
Sit boy.
Sit boy. And then at this point, they're going to get the second dragon. Alex, Mountain Drake for themselves, too. Pushing themselves. Now they have a good setup for 3. And depending on this depending on what dragon we be getting on Summoner's Rift, may just be good for him.
Let's go with Ocean Dragon.
Ocean. If it's Ocean's real good, and it is.
Oh, the big brain predictor right there. If I
In
mean,
the Ocean. Along with that, though, Wilskins getting the second turret for themselves on the bottom side. Especially putting on to Sketch Dream so that he can actually start fighting all the way through. But ISU right now, they need to chill. They need to calm down. I don't know about this invade.
yeah,
They all been spotted.
Trickster's right over there.
They don't got their carry.
They're
don't got
trying to see if they can
Disconnector.
get the flash in. Not going to be able to really get anyone.
he has
Like you
ulti.
said, though, the fact that Disconnector's not there means that ISU had to completely bail. And this actually could, oh, wait, look at that. Sketch Dreams isn't there either, even though you have Darkwings in this immaculate position right now. 3, 1, and 3 on this Cassiopeia and can easily take down these objectives so quickly. They don't want to fight without having the full team there.
I don't know, man. I feel like you can because Trickster's such a big boy. He got Gore Drinker on lock. They don't have the damage to burn through his sustain right now. I definitely would have taken that fight 9 times out of 10 if I was Wilskins, but regardless, I don't mind them playing a little bit more patient, but...
Well, I don't think there was a fight. The fight was gone. They had already
was
retreated.
gone.
I feel
But
like they're
then
just turning for this, the Rift Herald right now.
Faisal definitely could have looked for a punish, looked for a quick little snare or something to just get the fight going, but regardless, Wilskins, I don't mind them respecting this, but you do have to snowball this. You do have to snowball Trickster a little bit faster. It's 16 minutes in now. It's only 2K, 3K discrepancy from both these teams. Not too much at the end of the day, but as long as Trickster can actually get going, it'll be real good.
I'm going to make the argument that I don't even think it's Trickster that you need to put anything into anymore. He's 4, 3, and 3. I feel like you give everything to Darkwings. Keep putting gold into this Cassiopeia. Already have Landry's Anguish completed. Already looking to see if you can get up to that Seraph's Embrace. This Cassiopeia is where all the damage is going to come from. And once that Baron spawns, they can take it down in an instant.
Whoa.
Okay, Sketchstream's fine. He had Buster Shot. He had the jump out.
Yeah, but this is where my argument is like you just got to use the Olaf. It's good that you get. I agree with you. Got to put money on Darkwings. Got to make sure you get that cash, but you still need to use Olaf as much as you can before this champion starts scaling down. That's all I'm saying. If you had the fight, you definitely could have looked for it. But 17 minutes in though, Alex, ISU is still looking okay. As long as Disconnectors getting them items, it'll be looking pretty good. As Wilskins going to be trying to take down the mid-outer.
Fizzy, taking a lot of damage right there. Killed off by Disconnector. The turret's still alive. Tricks are finally going to be able to get that. And there's going to be the jump coming in back in. With the Stand United, trying to see if they can turn it around. They got a double kill coming in from Disconnector with the Black Shield. They're not going to be able to chase it down any further. Kittens have been able to bail out of the fight, but they lost 2 kills to the carry coming in from ISU.
Yo, Sketchstream saw blood. That's what he saw on a freaking Druidos, but he was like, oh no, dang it, Shamwa is going to give a gigantic shield all the way through. Now we're back to an even game, and now we're looking at Trickster. He still has that Ragnarok online, but right now, Alex, no objectives are on the table as of yet. This is the replay of them coming in. Fizzy and Skep Dreams, they wanted that turret, man. They wanted it so badly, and the turret's like, dog, I got you. It's okay if Fizzy goes down because we can still walk him and get it. Teleport comes back in, but pay attention to this, man. Boop, shield comes, and Skep Dreams like, oh, what?
You gotta respect the Stand United. Whenever you see a low health target like that, if you're like, hey, when was the last time we saw a Shen? Oh, it's been like 2 minutes? Oh, let's not try to go for that. Let's respect that he can easily use that shield, and unfortunately, they got punished for that. Now it's a 5-2-2 Kog'Maw on the other side. Phantom Dancer has been completed by this Void Puppy. He is a big old beast now.
Your boy dog. Your boy doggy now. No puppy anymore.
When does he become the Hellhound? That's going to be the real question.
When he picks up another item, then you gotta be mad scared. Not even a Hellhound, a Void Hound at that point. But still, Wilskins still have an option of trying to win this game. They still have ways to win this game. They just have to make sure they can break down Disconnector and stop all this healing. You already have the Chemtech Purifier from Faisal on the top side, which is a good pickup to stop all this healing on Disconnector. Because remember, you take this person out, that's it. ISU's comp is down. This is where protecting the AD carry has to be the most important thing. If this is the president, you make sure that he gets down when shots are being fired.
Well, that's the thing, is you have to somehow be able to kill this Kog'Maw. You have to be able to stick on top of him. And if I see you play this one properly, they're going to have everyone pretty much just grouped around Disconnect. You can already see that starting to happen with Nausicaa, with GFP, making sure they're always in front of this Kog'Maw. Now they've brought Druidozer here. They have Shamwell about to have that Stand United up. They can easily look for this play. They look like they had the pick on Sketch, but he's able to use the cleanse. And now they're trying to see if they can jump onto the back line onto Disconnector. Look at that. They have Trickster running on top of him, but he doesn't doesn't have enough. He finally takes him down. The exhaust is not enough to be able to help him out. He's going to be able to bail out of the fight. The rest of Will's Kittens now turning for the fight on a GFP, getting the kill. Resets coming in from Sketch Streams to chase down Nausicaa. They've done what they came here to. They killed Disconnector, and they've got a Baron right up on the docket.
And ShamWow still has Stand United, Alex. He could have put that ultimate, put that shield on a Disconnector, but he didn't, man. He had the opportunity to make sure his AD carry was 100% safe. But why aren't you protecting the president? Why aren't you there standing by his side? Because right now, Wilskins with this Baron is going to get a gigantic swing in this game, Alex. Jumping up, 5K in the lead now. Dragon's still on the table. They could just make a gigantic run to it. And
Watch this. Watch
Trickster. At this. And that's what I'm saying. Trickster runs straight on through. And take a look at ShamWow. He has that ultimate online. He has it. He could have been using it. But he's like, yo, I'm here. I'm proud. And I'm trying to see if I can fight. And then he looks around over his shoulders like, oh, dang. We all dead. That's it.
The thing is, it was off cooldown, but it came up off cooldown at the exact moment they needed it to. And he could have used it the moment it was off cooldown to be able to save Disconnector. And without using that shield turns it around. That's how low Trickster was. He nearly died in the fight. And now you've lost that. You've lost the momentum. Baron's gone. They're at soul point. Now for AOE Will's Kittens, they have full control of this game.
However, they still got that late game policy. They still have the insurance that they can go for. Dark Wings, one-on-one against Rudo. ShamWow's about to turn.
He's got a 2-level lead, though, and now it's going to be the showstopper over the wall. The Flash coming in to be able to save his own life, and in a 1v3, Dark Wings is still forcing away ISU. They can't touch this Cassiopeia.
Not even that, but they also use that Stand United, as I said, just to make a side lane play. You know, at this point, I want to reserve so that we can't fight. But Dark Wings, you may have been overstepping,
no Flash this time around. Encore, and now they've got the snake. But can the team be able to show up to be able to help his life? He's going to die shut down by ShamWow. Trickster on the other side with Fizzy. They're looking to see if they can make the play and make a pick. But unfortunately, without that Cassiopeia, they've lost that side lane pressure that they once had. TP's coming in from Five. They're trying to make this fight continue to go in. Nausicaa looks like it's the target. Disconnector's still not there. They're going to be able to get the support. The trade for support from mid laner. It is going to be an even trade, but it does slightly favor ISU.
I don't know about that, Alex. Wilskins managing to take down Nausicaa is actually so important when approaching these team fights. For 20 seconds, man, Disconnector not having the backup that he needs is actually a lot more afraid when walking up and taking some swings at Wilskins.
I was about to say, I feel like they're just not going to be doing anything anyways. It's the side lane pressure that they kind of lost out.
That's somewhat true, but then you have to be able to fight, and you have to have those tools to do so in ISU. They need all their members up. They need they need legit 4 of them to even try and fight. And if one of them falls away, if Gloom-Free Pan is gone, if Nausicaa's gone, Disconnector's value starts diminishing. And this is one of the issues when you're playing these kind of Juggernaut competitions, when you put in all your eggs in one basket, is that what happens when that egg starts cracking? What happens when you have 4 bad eggs and only 1 good one? If that good egg just starts going bad, it's not going to be looking too good, and you have to make sure you get a lot of value off of it. And when we look at this current game state, Alex, you're going to need a lot of time for ISU to make sure that golden egg starts hatching away and you get that beautiful geese.
I'd also like to see if we had a Quicksilver Sash picked up by Disconnector. Just a little bit more peel. Instead, it's the Executioners calling to try to stop the healing coming in from Trickster. But right now, ISU, they're trying to see if they can find any kind of pick, any kind of play against Will's Kittens. But there's nothing that they really have an option to do so. They're waiting to see when these objectives are going to spawn, but that's still 2 minutes away. In the meantime, what else can they do?
Alex, I got to point out something real quick, man. My man ShamWow actually picked up a redemption just to make sure
I saw that too.
Okay, my man legit putting everything in his bag. He's not gonna be a split push in today. He's gonna be the oh man, let me just get redemption. Let me get Knight's Vow. Let me just make sure I build all these support items so that my boy Disconnector can have his time to shine in this game 1, in this best of 3, in this quarterfinals. If they can, that's gonna be great. But Will's Kittens, they knocking on the front door right now.
I was about to say, that is true, but look at Faisal on the other side, too. Same strategy coming in from this Karma with the Gakale's Blessing. And that's what I like to see, seeing that picked up in the inventory to be able to help the team out even more. Help out Trickster, help out Darkwings, anybody who's going to be diving into the backline to try to make sure that they're going to be able to dominate this fight and nobody's going to be able to stop them.
One thing that I was a little bit surprised at Disconnector opting for the Phantom Dancer just to add more kiting potential, because you hit 1, 2, 3, you get to move real fast, But this is where he's not opting for Gwintus because he's real afraid. Fizzy, though, he over the wall. I like that little ward.
I do.
Good little spot from Noska to make sure that Fizzy isn't going to Hex Flash over to create a nice little flank. ISU, they still on the back foot. They need to make sure they can actually approach because this is the whole point.
Battle Song
1 minute left.
Dark
Nice
Binding
road.
connected onto Sketch Streams. They've got a lot of damage, but they're still alive. Trying to see if they can kite back for
Disconnector's
Disconnector. Huge shield on top of him. Trying to make sure that he can stay away from Trickster, but
That's
they've
one.
lost the support. All the
Disconnector's
while,
cut off.
Disconnector's completely cut off from the team. Trying to be able to get the damage back, but they can't. With Disconnector not there, it's a complete wipe coming in from AOE Wills Kittens, and they've got the pick they needed to. Even with Stand United, you finally die. Disconnector against the world, trying to fight back, trying to do anything but can't. A clean ace nearly coming in from the side of Wills Kittens, only losing to ADC, finally losing the support to the Ghost, but it doesn't matter. That is going to be the game for AOE.
Bro, Dark Wings and that miasma stopped Disconnector from anything. He drew a gigantic line, age line like it's the Goblet of Fire, and it's like, yo, Disconnector, you can't cross this, my man. You can't walk and see if you can start a fight. And that's basically what happened, along with that Sketch Stream starting the fight off, taking down Noska as well. It kind of looked good for ISU, not going to lie. But that TP right in the center and Dark Wings cutting off Disconnector from outputting any sort of damage, that's another way of dealing with the Juggernaut comp. And look at Noska. He's the first one who gets taken down. Sketch Stream's like, I'm okay. I still have Flash. But look at this teleport coming in. Shamwell trying to do his best to zone everything off. But that miasma, look at Disconnector.
Huge.
He's like, guys, I can't help. I'm trying to walk through, but then because he can't walk through, Wills Kittens, because they have a double threat composition, they're able to take down everyone else. So good from Wills Kittens right now. And, you know, I wasn't going to be surprised if they managed to take this quarterfinals game, but this is a damn good game right now.
It really is looking great coming in from AOE Wills Kittens. They have such a strong lead, and this composition, like you said, having the double threat for them. Cassiopeia, Tristana, and honestly, I gotta give massive credit out to Dark Wings. Like you said, drawing that line into the sand, making it so they completely split up, really is what won that previous fight. And here, being able to pop Ragnarok is nice out of ISU, but we need to see them actually punish it, because that is not a typically long cooldown in the later stages of the game. Not when you have a Cloud Dragon already picked up well earlier on by AoE. Plus, they now have the Ocean Soul, so any damage you do to them, any chip damage that you're able to layer upon them, they're going to be able to heal right back up.
It's real tough, too, because whenever you're rocking a Juggernaut composition, you want the person face tank and everything is Disconnector. He's the one who's getting shielded.
You got to get really close.
And he has to get real close to just tap him on the head a couple of times. Against his composition in his current situation, he can't really do that because Fizzy's threatening a lot. Druzozer, he's going to get threatened too.
Huge punch, but unfortunately the Flash coming in, trying to be able to escape is not enough. Nice encore, but what damage do they have to be able to follow up? Disconnector's not able to get anywhere near. Noska trying to be able to run to the hills to be able to escape this one, but without Druzozer, a frontline threat for ISU is completely gone, and look how low they are. That's going to be Baron easily taken by Wills Kittens as long as they peel for it.
Yeah, and look at Disconnector, man. My boy can't step up. Fizzy is making a gigantic threat. Sketchy is making a gigantic threat. Even though Ragnarok was down for Trickster, it was down too.
Look at Fizzy.
This is the ideal situation for Wills Kittens because they are forcing ISU to walk up in this Baron. And you look at ISU, they're like, we can't walk up, man. We can't do it. Exactly. You need Disconnector to be the person who's actually walking up and tapping some heads. Like it's a game of balance, but he can't.
Okay, ShamWow is trying to cut the wave to be able to get it to push up further since that is an exposed inhibitor in mid lane. But it's only delaying the inevitable. They've got themselves the Baron. And look at this. Top lane with the Sketch Streams here. They're trying to see if they can take another turn, but that's a lot of damage coming in. Druzozer, huge punch, but he's still alive. Trying to jump back, trying to see if they can re-engage the fight. Knight's Arc binding on the Faisal, but look at Trickster trying to be able to cut them. Make sure they cannot dive into the back line just yet, but still, Kittens are alive. And with the help of that, they should be able to heal up pretty full. Nice charm coming in, but it's not enough damage on a Trickster. He's still able to stay alive for so long. All this damage coming in is doing nothing right now for ISU. Huge dive into the backline. Trickster finally shut down, but look at the damage coming in from Dark Wings. Trying to see if they can take down Druzozer. He's barely alive on the sideline, but they've got the kills they need to. They've taken out the carries. Sketch Dreams too inside of the base, looking to be able to get one more, but the charm going to make sure he dies in the meantime. But it does not not matter for AOE Will's Kittens. They've got the minions, they've got the base, they've got Darkwings here as well, trying to be able to take game 1 of the quarterfinals, but they have to make sure that they can get through Nazca, get through Drudozer, all the while a bit of damage on a Darkwing, but he's still alive. Nice punch coming in, but still, that damage, the Twin Fangs with the help of the Conqueror was able to keep him so healthy. Nice dodge back in, and they got an unstoppable Darkwing. Drudozer's too low to be able to fight back. Game 1 will be picked up by AOE Will's Kittens here. Drudozer gonna have to watch in horror, trying to be able to get into the back line, but he's immediately killed. Game 1 is an end.
Will's Kittens, man. My Kittens are going to take that game, Alex. Shout out to them and shout out to the way they play that game. They play that game beautifully. They did a great job answering this Juggernaut composition. And all start off with that fight in the mid lane when ShamWow had a lapse of judgment. He was like, you know what? I think Disconnector is A-okay. I don't need to stand unite him, but then the moment that happens, stand unite does come through. That Baron legit swung everything to Will's Kittens. It was a close game until that point, but the moment they got that, that's pretty much it. And that's why I was talking about Juggernaut compositions. When you run these kind of compositions, you need that Juggernaut to actually walk up and start threatening with that W, start spraying and praying everywhere on whoever he's facing. The issue is that he's not earning enough because he's not snowballing enough, and also he's not getting enough shields. And then we look at the management of those resources. Many of them are just being blown left and right for individual members on ISU's team. Usually when you run this kind of solid identity, you have to save everything for that one moment. You got to save everything. And that last fight, when it came to that last push on that top inhibitor turret, Drudozer, he actually had a good look. He had a good look onto a Sketch Dreams, but that angle on that showstopper fortunately knocked him to the left side of the wall, man. And then he just didn't get under turret. If he did get under turret, maybe that could have swung things. But ISU, I appreciate the idea of them running Juggernaut combos because we don't see those. We don't see those any day. Haven't seen that in Proving Grounds. We haven't seen that anywhere, Alex. But I think they need to go back to what they're used to. More chaotic kind of game plans. More giving everyone individual agency on the way they want to play instead of putting everything on Disconnector's basket. If not, I feel like
it was still chaotic. I feel like it still had some identity, but they just needed to play towards Disconnector a bit more. I think that was the whole idea. Is they needed to make sure that they kept them alive. But you know what? Well, it is what it is. We gotta get to a break so that way we can get ready for game 2. They're gonna have plenty of time to be able to discuss this with themselves. But for now, we're tossed to a break. When we come back, the desk will break down that game a little bit further.
Woo!
And welcome back to That's Everybody Ravish. Ravish showed by Beaton Boulevard and inconspicuous getting back at it. Here. We just saw a game between ISU and AOE, and this is what is really what happened here. Beaton, if I may, if you allow me to present.
Please.
This is a toonie.
It is?
This is change in Canada for $2.
A toonie?
Yeah, it's a $2 coin. We
I
don't have $2 bills anymore. They got rid of that
No,
15 years ago. I want to say.
This is what we got. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
kind
what
of cool.
we do.
I like
It's
to.
great. So, like I said, this is a coin flip that I just did. That's what ISU did the entire game. They decided
There it is.
that with every single team fight and with every almost half the decisions they made, they were like, I see we're winning, but what if we weren't anymore?
That's all right.
One way to put it.
It's a little mean. It's a little mean, but you're
Yeah.
right about the coin flipping. You're absolutely right about the coin flipping. See, the thing ISU do that we kind of peg them for is that they definitely fight more than they need to, more than they should at times, and we saw examples of that this game because ISU had a pretty solid early lead for the most part. They actually, I think we're about to see. This is kind of a good example of when ISU spent a lot of this game. Like they had a strong early lead, and with their comp outscaling, like this game state they're in is perfect. But the kind of problem is when they get a good fight, when they get a good kill, they don't disengage. They look for more. See, they take Trickster out in this fight, but now they think they can do more and take out Dark Wings. This connector, however, forgot Miasma was an ability, and at that point, you are reminded how much damage Cassiopeia can do. And that's kind of the problem that we saw throughout a lot of the game, where ISU, they get something good. They get a pick. Hey, that's great. Let's walk away because Dragon is coming up. Oh, we're going to keep fighting. Oh, well, okay, fine. And I mean, AOE's Wolves Kittens did a little bit of the same here. So I know, Incon, you were talking about how it's a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah, I basically just said the story of this game was the enemy team gives you an inch, you try and take a foot, and then you just end up going backwards. It felt like either team would find a way to like either get a kill or get an advantage. A really good example was when AOE Will's Kittens got the mid tower and they tried going for the kills after getting the tower, where they could have just backed up and gone for the objective reset for the objective. They ended up getting double killed by the Cogmaw. So, as you pointed out, we saw how ISU would overcommit and try and get more than what they should have gotten in the first place. We also saw AOE doing the exact same thing. It just happened that the Olaf was greater than the Cogmaw, so AOE ended up winning the game, so good for them. But I think if we see more of this 50-50, we can see anyone taking next game.
And that's the greatest part of it all. So if you all will allow me, I would like to rescind my application for the current objective of predictions that I presented to you all. Like I said before, I didn't see the roster on both sides, so I decided, you know what, let me just put my name and number out there. I was like, you know what, I'll just do me.
No.
So please.
No.
Okay.
So that's only one person's opinion. I'll let you do it. It's 50-50.
Okay.
Thank you.
fair enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
I would have just
flip
I
your
would have just
flip your-
sat here.
yeah, flip your toonie for it.
Oh, I'll accept that.
You know what? That's fair. That's fine. You know, I'm actually kind of done to do
We
that.
went 50-50. The only way to do it.
You're right.
Okay,
All right,
all
call
right.
it. Call it,
All
Robbie.
right, here. All right. You want? I'm gonna say tails. I get to rescind my
Okay.
my prediction. Heads, I don't. Is that cool?
Perfect.
Well, wait, rescind
right.
change to what though? Before we do this,
I'm gonna change it to 1-2 ISU.
as in
ISU
what we're
wins.
saying.
As
As
an ISU
ISU.
win.
Oh, okay. So 2-1
Yeah,
ISU.
2-1 ISU wins.
Okay,
There you
I
go,
will
okay.
accept this coin toss.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's heads, baby.
You said tails.
Yeah, you said tails. You called it wrong.
Wait.
You actually failed the coin toss. You ISU'd the coin actually.
My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I do not know how
You're
I will come back from this.
You're currently stuck on the 2-0. So
Yep.
your prediction's thrown out now.
That's
how
okay.
long it lasted.
Well, that's fine. You know, let's talk a little bit more about the game here, guys. So
True.
so sidewaves are the thing that happened. Incon, talk to me about sidewaves while I go cry for a second.
Yeah, so Honestly, we said side waves are a thing, but ISU just felt like, hey guys, what if we fight 24/7 nonstop, lose every fight, not collect any side wave, and see if we can try and win? I believe they were at like a 3K gold deficit after the Baron.
Yep.
After the Baron play, they were like, guys, there's only like one wave that exists. It's just ARAM. Like, where are the Poros? We're a little confused. Don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't have any biscuits in my inventory. Like, what's going to happen here? And then just said top bot, ignore those waves. We'll just flush those out. They end up getting like a level disadvantage in every lane, a CS disadvantage in the majority of their lanes. It was just, I don't want to say all over really bad for them, because like I think AOE also did a good job of kind of like choking them out at that time.
Yeah.
But they definitely lost more waves than they needed to. And the Shen build kind of made up for it a little bit. He's going a low economy build. He did go to Chem Tank, but he did go into support items after that to try and support the Kog'Maw. So it made a little bit of sense, but I felt like they bled a little too much, and it took a small disadvantage that they were in and actually increased the gap. So it actually made the game impossible to recover, basically.
Yeah, because the comp that you have, if you're ISU, like we were talking about it, they outscale. So even being behind a little bit, weathering the storm of that Baron play and only going down 3,000 gold, that's somewhat there is a possibility you can get back into the game at that point with how strong your Kog'Maw is going to become with this connector. But like you said, you bleed quite literally a couple thousand golds worth of side wave just to try and fight in the mid lane. Any Ram style is pretty much made that game unwinnable for you.
I mean, I do tend to agree with like you mentioned, right?
Mhm.
Because like just taking advantage wherever you can win this game will ultimately lead to your success. And you saw ISU unfortunately did a little bit of gold on both sides. But as we're looking at it, the scrappy play style between both these teams has definitely been entertaining to watch nonetheless. I think take all the other extra factors away.
Yeah.
It's been a fun game. I've actually really enjoyed to watch what goes on.
Yeah.
But
We got entertainers out on Summoner's Rift, and we'll just see if they can become winners. So
True.
banger of a line. And on that note, we're gonna send it over to our casters. Chilling, walking, mad magic. Clinics in game number 2.
Hello, and welcome back into the caster desk. We're getting ready for game 2 of the quarterfinals between ISU and AOE Will's Kittens. Game 1, Will's Kittens looking pretty hot in that one, but ISU also drafting a bit different than we'd expect. That Juggermaw composition, it felt like it had the ability to be able to win that game. It was just that one fight that broke it all down, and even with that, I don't know if I really want to see that coming in from ISU again. I want to see them go back to the tried and true, the chaotic style they're known for.
Yeah, I want to see that too, man. I want to see ISU going back to having everyone have individual agency. You know, I think the beauty of the way they draft is that they can flex everything. But then even though with that draft came on in Alex, where they can flex everything, at the end of the day, it's still a Juggernaut composition. You know, you can send the Seraphine and and the Shen anywhere you want, but then it doesn't matter because the only damage that you got is that Kog'Maw. So I agree with you. I think ISU need to throw a little bit of a different recipe in this draft right now, because that deck that they got just wasn't cutting it. If they go back to it, then they just got to execute. They just got to execute it a little bit better. The dust said it best. I think that they just need to pick better fights, be more patient on the way they want to pick better fights, and not use them resources like it's left or right, like they got all the money in the world. What?
Will, credit over to Will's Kittens on how they played that one, especially Dark Wings. That one fight where he was able to completely cut off Disconnected from being a part of the fight. It shows, I think, the flaws with trying to draft the composition like that. If you're smart on how you're able to do things, you don't have to necessarily kill that Kog'Maw. He was not a part of the fight because he physically couldn't be a part of it.
That's where we were talking post game, where when you run a Juggernaut composition, you legit need Mooseby for the Kog'Maw. You need him to actually just be able to walk in and walk out of threat range, because he can just hit with a lot of damage. In this situation, you know, Disconnector didn't have the Mooseby to actually create that threat and just to walk in and out of Cassio's miasma. In that situation, like you said, man, Darkwing's setting himself up with that line of scrimmage to make sure that Disconnector is on the opposite side. But as far as this draft, Alex, ISU on the red side, Wilskins on the right. On the blue side, let's see if they can actually get the composition that they want to go for. But this is ISU's better side, because they flex everything, because they set up power picks. This is what they want.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that the fact that ISU can flex so much is what I think gives them a lot more power. Being red side, being able to see if they can counter a lot of what AOE want to be able to draft here. But I still expect to see very similar bans, at least to start off. It's not until I think we get into the later stages of the draft that we'll really start to see things shaken up by either squad.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see what will happen now. I wonder actually what AOE actually values, because I remember ISU, they banned Rumble on blue side. AOE probably, I don't think they're going to be banning Rumble because it's such a good first pick on the blue side right now, knowing that it has a lot of flex value as a champion currently. There it is. There's the ban.
There it is. I mean, it's expected. Like I said, I don't think that there's going to be too much difference here. Thresh was banned last time. Rumble was banned last time. I don't know if Varus might be banned by either team this early on, but I'm expecting to see a lot of things stay relatively similar. Nocturne probably going to be benched. I'm actually curious to see if ISU want to ban that Kiana once more, if they want to leave that open, knowing that they're going to be able to counter that if it's drafted at all.
I would say if you want to ban, it's going to be second rotation, maybe not in the first rotation, because it is blue side.
Okay.
You know, so if I am going to see you maybe in the later stages when you're looking to blind pick your mid laner for Drew Dozer. But we'll see if they do want to stick to the same guns on banning that champion here. But Thresh and Varus being two bans on blue side is surprising.
Same bans.
Yeah, same bans already.
I wonder if Lulu is going to be banned by ISU here as well. That'd be the 4 same bans as last time in the 4 slots. No, they go for that Karma instead, trying to take away that, again, the flexibility that we saw in Game 1 from either of these squads. But Karma, I think, was something that was used very well. All right, Faisal was able to get a solo kill top lane on it in Shamo, despite being at a CS discrepancy.
Yeah, man. Karma flows too much like water. Too soft, can be filled in any sort of container. And for Wilskins, they definitely have a lot when it comes to that champion. But see if they're going to be sticking to that last ban. It's going to be Morgana.
No. Okay.
All right. On the blue side, too. That's also very surprising.
Well, it makes me think that they want to be able to get that Diana. If it's left through by ISU like it was last time, I wonder if they want to grab that immediately to be able to say, hey, it's going to be a solid jungle pick for Trickster. Technically could be flexed, but I'm highly suspicious of that. I expect that to be much more of something Trickster would want to play as opposed to Dark Wings.
Lulu going to be the last ban for ISU on their side, so they don't want to deal with, again, the fluidity of these support champions that Wilskins are down to play, especially from Vias, all knowing that he can rock the Karma top, probably rock the Lulu top too. Definitely appreciate that, but Diana
can go mid lane too for Dark Wings.
Mid lane as well for Dark Wings. Yeah, like this is where it gets a little bit dangerous, but as you mentioned, Diana being a potential first pick that can be flexed.
There it is.
The jungle and mid lane. I was gonna say maybe we're not getting. Maybe people are just not showing.
I would
Diana,
be surprised.
I was gonna be surprised, but like we haven't seen it in MSI. You know, we only saw a little bit of amateur. That's
Day one, man. Come on.
No. In amateur, we've been seeing it for quite a while. In Upsurge, you know, we've been seeing Diana being picked up and be a menace. But then MSI is like, yo, what's going on? Why isn't that being picked up? Are we not seeing something? We'll have to make sure.
I was just about to say, all right, Nocturne. So we do see the flexibility from both squads yet again. The Diana less flexible, I think, than that Nocturne. Top lane, jungle, mid lane. 3 lanes that easily can be put into the hands of Nocturne that are going to be quite confident for either for any of those 3 players. We know Drew Dozer likes to play his melee AD champions mid lane. Gluten-free Panda, that's going to be an easy champion for him to be able to pilot. ShamWow likes to play aggressively as well. But then having the Seraphine to be able to back it up, I kind of like this. It gives them more options of damage sources as opposed to last time, already just by having this Nocturne.
That is 100% true, Alex. But one thing about ISU is that, you know, we look at Nocturne and the way he functions, we look at Seraphine and the way they function. They both function very separately. So unless they want to play both mid-range towards each other, we're not going to see them interact a lot together. So that's one thing that I do have to highlight on ISU is that Nocturne's probably going to be operating as a single entity in this composition, or maybe Seraphine's going to be acting as a single identity in their composition too, only being used in the Encore. But this is where you can kind of criticize compositions like, yo, like, how come you're not picking champions that work well together? You know, how come you're not choosing like a Galio or choosing like another dive champion for yourself? That's always something you got to wonder when it comes to the rest of the draft. But What? What's
If
up?
anyone's going to do that, ISU are the team. That's
That's
why
true.
I think it's
Yeah.
the Seraphine that's going to operate independently. I think they are going to draft around Nocturne. I would not be surprised Shen or Galio locked in right here. They could opt for that route since we see Alistar on the other side, but I am much more expectant to see something that wants to be able to follow up this Nocturne, to dive into the backline. Hell, one of the compositions I think I would love the best is if they got ShamWow onto something like a Camille, they got GFP onto Nocturne, but no, it's going to be Tarek, something that can operate with both of them.
It definitely can. You know, it definitely can. Just you pop on that E on the Nocturne, and of course you get a nice little stun, kind of like a
And then
mini
you also
round.
get the ult too.
Yeah, and all the ult too. But then the thing is that Diana can kill people before Tarek's ulti comes flying down, before the Cosmic Radiance falls down, Alex. And this is where ISU, you said that ISU might look to pivot in. This is more of we're pivoting out, we're pivoting away. And I look at the Nocturne right now. Whoever's piloting it, he got no targets, Alex. You can't hit Tristana because she's gonna jump away. You can't, and if she's with someone else, Alistair can just Hulk smash Nocturne out of here and punt him away.
All right,
I'm
you
not
got a
liking
good
this
point.
Nocturne, man.
You know, you got a good point so far, but we do have to see what is paired up with it. I was already saying that my dream composition of the top side, Camille, Nocturne, Galio. I love that combination with one another because you have the Nocturne dive in, Camille the follow up with it, then they're locked in with the ultimatum so they can't jump away, then you got Galio ult on top of that as well. There are technically options, but yeah, right now I do want to see what ISU are going to draft for themselves. I feel like, and you know, yeah, I could be wrong. I feel like it's going to be Seraphina and Tarek bot lane purely to be something that is weak side, sack bot lane. They're not even going to focus around it. It is going to be around ShamWow, GFP, and Drew Dozer.
And the good thing about Tarek is that Tarek will be able to offer some sustain in those 2-on-2s compared to Bard, where we saw ISU get abused on when it came to the Seraphine and Bard by themselves. And I would like a heavy top side from the ISU squad now, knowing that they can provide that kind of help. But man, I'm just definitely curious. We do see a lot of diving bans coming. Vladimir, Yone, Akali,
Shen.
and Kiana being removed in. I don't like the Shen, man. I actually would not want to pick Shen here because Faisal has shown that he can pick counter picks and make it work.
Yes, I would probably personally, if I'm still thinking about my dream composition, I'd pick the Galio here. I'd see if you can get the counter to pick top lane for ShamWow. And you're like, whatever, it doesn't matter if they pick a Lucian. But, ooh, Silas. Silas blind, though, is not necessarily my favorite, just because he is someone, if you know how to pilot something against him, is easily countered.
Now I'm wondering what AOE wants to do here. They can pick the Renekton 4 Dark Wings in the mid lane to match the Silas, for sure. You know, they could pick Darius as well, knowing that can hold up his own. I forgot to mention, Alex, but Lee Sin has been on the table game 1 and game 2.
Do you think that the Lee Sin top lane's going to be picked, though?
Lee Sin solo lane's real good, man.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that a lot in solo
beats
queue.
a lot of people.
But into Gangplank?
No. Well, I was hoping AOE's going to pick it because they're looking to dive in. You know, but oh wait, Lee Sin mid.
No,
oh
you're
man,
getting trolled by production.
Y'all baiting me, man. Come on.
The thing is, I do respect it, but blind Lee Sin, I'm not sure if I'm sold on, personally. I think it would be a really difficult sell for me. The Cassiopeia going to be the final pick. So the side of AoE, it feels like they kind of do have that skirmish potential, but they have a far more late game scaling composition than they did last time. Around these objectives especially, they are going to be, if you turn your back for a second, they're going to be able to take that in an instant.
100%. I agree with that, man. AOE definitely favoring the late game for sure. GP and Cassio, it's going to take a lot of time to ramp up. Same thing with Diana, too. I mean, even though Diana does operate well at level 6 and can start fighting early on, 2-item Diana hurts a lot. 3-item Diana even hurts even more. Legit just one-shot people left and right if she gets a 3, 4, 5-man ultimate by herself here. But for AoE, it's kind of like a mishmash, right? You got Gameplay and Cassio operating by themselves as a 2-man unit, then you got the 3-man core of a diving team from AoE. Whereas ISU, same kind of thing. You got like 2 backliners of Seraphine and Tarek, and you got 3 other divers from Nocturne, Silas, and Cassio. I do agree that ISU's composition, like what I said before, Alex, is that individual people have individual agency of what they can look for, and they can start action whenever they want. But this is where I look at all 5. Like if they play as a unit now, it might be too scattered for them to actually start those fights on their terms. They have to find isolated one-on-ones, start skirmishing, ISO Faisal, ISO Darkwings, and then just make sure you're winning on that. And then once you have a numbers advantage, then you can start looking for them fights.
The thing is, I'm kind of looking at these lanes really now before then, and I'm trying to think what ISU can really do here to be able to try to get themselves in these early leads. So go for it. Go for it. Give me your example.
You see this? You see the Gangplank, right? Gangplank's weakness up here. Gangplank's biggest weakness is that he can get dove on pretty easily as long as you have the tools to do so. What does Camille do? You can dive that Gangplank no matter what. What does Nocturne do? You can dive that Gangplank no matter what. And I expect ISU to do this 9 times out of 10 on repeat when those ultimates come off cooldown. Because if they don't, Gangplank can actually win this matchup. This is the danger of running this Camille, is where Gangplank could actually win it straight up in an isolated one-on-one because, you know, Parlay hurts, Grasp the Undying will hurts too, and Camille can't really hold on. But then once you hit 6 or once you are able to pressure that Gangplank under the turret, call in some reinforcements, make sure that Gangplank has no fun on that top side.
You think that they're going to be able to get that, though, with the other lanes being something that is good, especially this mid lane. That's the thing to me, is I look at this Cassiopeia Silas lane, and Cassiopeia is one of those champions that people don't respect how much she hurts in the first few levels, especially into something that is a mobile like a Silas. If he gets caught in that miasma, trying to be able to get Kingslayer, what can he do? He's just going to burn to death.
Yeah, you legit can't do anything. It's going to be up to, again, Drudos to skill check Darklink when it comes to these melee versus range matchups. And we saw him in game 1. Alex Drudoser wasn't having a fun time, even though he had some good looks with GFP. It just wasn't the same. You know, I think if we were to have Hyper in the game, maybe the game could have been different. But GFP, even though he was doing a good job, it just doesn't have that explosiveness of what Hyper has brought to the table. And that's why I'm wondering if the rest of, not off of GFP, but the rest of ISU can step up and make sure they recover their early game, because even though that early game in game 1 was okay, we've seen better.
We have. And it's going to be difficult on this Nocturne as well to try to be able to help out early on, because Nocturne is not something that is going to be able to impact much until he gets up to level 6, until he has some levels under his belt to really help out, because otherwise he's walking at people. Otherwise he's slowly kind of trying to see if he can slither his way near that shadow to get on top of the Snake Lady mid lane. Bot lane, I mean, I'm looking bot lane too. It's like Seraphine Taric lane.
Yeah.
What do you want to? If you can get a nice dazzle from Natsuka, sure. But
they are moving to Arkansas, and they're going to be farming some corn, Alex. That's what they're going to be doing.
Exactly. That's all you're
really
doing.
Passive money, man. No heavy investments, nothing like that. We're just going to be, getting our passive income and making sure we're okay. And that's what I expect Disconnector and Oscar from doing in this bottom side. But they need to execute on the top side, Alex. They need to make sure that they put down a Faisal on this Gangplank, because if they don't, then their comp is going to be looking real tough, man.
It is. It's going to be difficult. They have to be able to get a couple levels under their belt if they want to be able to do anything. And this is where I think that AOE Will's Kittens can punish them. Diana is something that is going to be able to, as opposed to what she used to be before, where she kind of did want to be able to get to level 6, where she got linear rush, such they changed things around. It makes her a little bit more impactful in these early levels to try to be able to get some skirmishes. And I'm expecting to see Trickster Darkwings try to team up and try to work together, especially as we dive onto the for game 2. Quarterfinals. AOE's Will Kittens are up 1-0 against the reigning champions of ISU, who want to defend their title, but they gotta make sure they win this game, otherwise they are knocked out early.
And I want to kind of talk a little bit more about this jungle matchup, Alex, because we didn't really shine a lot about it in draft, but Nocturne does win against Diana in the earlier stages of the game.
As long as it's a skirmish of a 1v1.
Yeah, in an isolated 1-on-1, Nocturne for sure wins against Diana, because you spell shield that Q, you walk up, you fear her, you got that lead of the tumble, it all works out in the end. But then later on, Diana, of course, just outscales when it comes to pure on team fight, because that ultimate hurts a lot. So that's one thing that ISU still has another thing going for them, is that isolated 1-on-1s in the jungle is definitely for them. Dives, definitely for them.
Well,
but they need to get Drudos out of this mid lane to impact the map.
Do you think that there's going to be a lot of isolated one-on-ones, though, between Trickster and GFP? I feel like that's like a pipe dream for GFP at that point. I feel like Trickster is going to try to tag team with Darkwings, who's going to push out, and they're going to try to look for the skirmishes.
It's like basketball. You call for ISO 1-on-1, ISO GFP, and then it could work out. That also means the ShamWow and Drudozer have to have their one-on-ones to force Faisal and Darkwings to not come up and help. You know,
Exactly.
That's where you're forcing that ISO to occur. Whether two teams want to do it, I'm not too sure. But if GFP manages to find Trickster by himself, I definitely call for that.
I mean, if you're on the side of ISU, but if you're Will's Kittens, no way in hell they're gonna let that happen. You could already see right now, Darkwing's already starting to get a little bit of lane priority over Drudo's or mid lane. Bot lane, it looks like Sketch and Fizzy are gonna be able to push out a little bit. Nice tassel though comes in from Nausicaa to try to get a bit of damage back onto Sketch streams. Unfortunately, Nausicaa takes a lot more damage on the brunt side of it.
Yep. However, they do have a lot of healing though, Alex. They can definitely use some cure wounds if we're placing D&D. So they'll be okay for now.
Hopefully it's not lesser, and it's at least a decent cure wounds.
Hopefully, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty solid cure wounds. I'm being honest. The biggest thing I want to wonder is if Diana can look to dive earlier on the game, because you can definitely abuse it pre-6. Post-6 it gets a lot harder.
GFP, Faisal, you're
he's
way too far out. Even though you got a lot of damage back on to ShamWow. Unfortunately, the Duskbringer not connecting. It's a nice flash to be able to survive. Had Duskbringer connected, I think that would have been a far further engage coming in from ISU.
Yeah, it was a little weird. You're trying to fight in the minion wave, and you didn't commit flash. I mean, you do get the flash away, which is going to set yourself up when you guys both turn level 6, but this is where that matchup of Gangplank by himself against Camille is going to be looking pretty good, man. That parlay hurts a lot, especially when you're just hitting minions left and right. Bottom side, Nausicaa still getting hit down.
Jeez, he's taking a lot of damage. Nice dazzle, though. They're trying to get onto the turret, and Fizzy takes first blood despite it. Ball mid lane. GFP just dies off screen.
Uh-oh.
What'd I say about the 2v2? What'd I tell you, Will?
You're right. You know, I did deny it.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's no way they're gonna go for an ISO.
Oh man, this is not looking good for ISU, man. Especially when GFP has that flash and he was able to kind of get out of dodge. I actually am curious to see that 2v2, but look at this 2-on-2 in the bottom lane.
Give Fizzy so much credit on this too. How he pushes him into the wall, waits it out, then he gets that such a good layer of CC.
Man, you get caught in the corner, you're stuck in a mix-up situation. What do? You go down. Faisal, of course, takes an ignite, but he's still okay. Because ShamWow don't got that flash. He went TP ignite. Faisal, of course, has that teleport too, and the wave's going to be good for himself too.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult now for ISU. Even though they were able, it looks like off-screen while we were watching that replay, there was a kill onto Sketch streams in the meantime that Disconnector was able to get. But the thing is, it's not necessarily going to be the greatest for ISU right now. They need more than just that. The bot lane getting a kill, Disconnector trading 1-for-1. Sure, cool. Yeah. They need to be able to get GFP. They need to be able to get ShamWow into a better position. They need these snowballs to start rolling, otherwise they ain't gonna be an avalanche.
Yeah, definitely need to do so, man. And I like what Trickster is doing right now on the map. He's playing on the bottom side to putting more pressure on Nausicaa. And Disconnector, knowing that Disconnector does not have that flash, and knowing that they're both trying to fight over this wave, definitely be a good look if Nausicaa and Disconnector step up. Sometimes do this a lot, man, and they're already going for it.
Looking to get that damage back onto Fizzy. Unfortunately now, Trickster has been spotted out on that ward, so Disconnector, Nausicaa probably should be pit-lining this one pretty safely. Oh, I thought they got the cancel back there onto Trickster, but just barely missed that beat.
This is going to buy some time for GFP to farm up some of his camps, though. He was a little bit behind overall when it came to the game. Sketch Dreams, I like the little rocket jump away from the stun, but it's basically what the game plan is going to be. I need to see ISU get to 6 ASAP and threaten Faisal on this gangplank. And we take a look at ShamWow again. This matchup is not favorable in a one-on-one, man. It's real tough, especially when Faisal has oranges on deck, removing that scurvy and getting that vitamin C.
Well, that's why you take Ignite, too, as Camille. You're trying to get that level, the early level kill onto GP. And without that, this matchup is not going to work out. You're now forced to call in Gluten-Free Panda to the top lane. Try to get this Nocturne to help out. But he's got some time till he's going to be able to scale, too. He's fallen behind. Trickster, you can see there's already the level discrepancy. There's going to be that CS discrepancy between them as well. That is making it so that ISU, a team that needed to be able to get a lot of this top-side aggression to go early, it's not working out.
Not only him, too, but also look at the mid lane, Alex. Darkswing is doing a great job
this
maintaining
is what we expected, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is expected, but then he's maintaining near-perfect CS at this point. Drew? What? Drew? What you doing, bro?
Ooh, now look at this. ShamWow might die to Trickster. He's looking to see if he can chase him down, but he does not have the Lunar Rush anymore. Christian Strike might have connected, but it's going to be the Blast Gun to keep him alive at mid lane.
Yo, but Drew? What you doing, dog?
He needed to completely bail out of this one. He thought
like,
that he was
look
going to
at
be able to
this.
get the CS. It's just...
No, he got greedy, man. Look,
Yeah,
he dashes with the E, and he's over the miasma. He's like, oh, yo, I need the CS, dog. Oh, but I'm in my miasma, and then I fall down. And then I burn Flash. Yo.
He was trying to flash Kingslayer so he could heal back up. But top lane, unfortunately, look at this. Only level 5 for ShamWow. Not going to be able to do much. So they're going to be able to get the Cannon Barrage, try to see if they can chase this down. But they make it out, like you say, Will. And without the kills again for ISU, look at, oh my god, look at the CS differences in these lanes.
Drew ran from lane. Drew ran from base to go to the top side to start a fight. Now he's losing some more. And along with that, Will's Kin's still putting more pressure on the bottom side, too.
Sketch was looking to see if they can get the kill on the Nazgods. They're just fights and skirmishes happening across the map right now for these two teams. And this is not working out for ISU. These skirmishes are being detrimental to what they need to be able to do, and they're losing. They're losing bot lane, even with the Encore coming in. Should be the kill coming in from Sketchstreams. He's got the rocket jump, Buster shot as well. Boom goes the dynamite, double kill coming in from this connector. While ISU try to see if they can get something else. Where the flash coming in from Darkwing to be able to survive. Tricks are going to be able to flash, but the ultimate mode already connected. The kill goes through for GFP. Faisal on the other side though wants to be able to see if they can chase down, at least stop the back coming in. ShamWow, that's greedy back right there. Barrel gonna be able to connect. Where's the flash gen? Has the trial by fire kill coming in from Faisal. He's a 1v2, but look who's there. Darkwing with the miasma. So much damage coming in on top. The smite's not gonna save you, GFP. It's gonna be a killing spree coming in from Darkwings.
Man, ISU are getting mad, greedy, whatever they want to do, man. Drew Dozer wants to see if he can take the blue for himself. He's not gonna get it, but ShamWow, greedy reset on the top side, and then the bottom end, Nazca and Disconnector sitting together in a two-man head of Pulverize, costing them a lot. They're losing everything right now, Alex. And ISU, this is mad uncharacteristic. Crystal Will's kids, they did some mental damage on the way ISU want to play game 2, man. They're doing everything in their game plan, and it's working out. We look at everyone across the board, 51-38, 10 CS up, but the mid lane, Drew Dozer, he down 40 CS. He getting double-digited on. This is not what we've seen, I think, in the entire time I've watched ISU. And Dark Wings coming in, stepping in for Will's Kins is making mad work.
Well, this is why when you look at Proving Grounds, Dark Wings had been a player that had been so hyped up, and now you can see that Will's Kittens, they're looking for a dive. They have to be careful. They're getting a lot of damage, but a nice rocket jump out of there to be able to dive. All the while, Drew Dozer got solo killed again by Dark Wings. They're trying to see if maybe ISU can defend this top lane turret, but Trickster trying to scare away Jiffy. No mana to speak of. Easy target to be able to blow up. Knit the resets coming in from Sketchstreams to chase Dan ShamWow. One more auto. It's going to be a kill coming in from Trickster. TP way too late coming in from Drew Dozer. Trying to see if he can chase down anybody. He wants to be able to get the kill on the Fizzy. Might be able to do so, but at one point, he can't get it! It's going to be the kill on Rampage from Sketchstreams.
Oh, my head hurts, Alex. ISU. Fizzy, you God. Why are you still alive? I think you should be dead by now, but Will's Kins, they are popping off. I don't know. Something happened. Something happened. This is the worst time I've seen ISU play their game, Alex. No blame on them. Will's Kins are playing amazing. They're making awesome punishes. They're punishing everything left and right of what ISU is doing, but
they have trying to.
Oh, man.
Faisal, nice sidestep. Does get the root, but Orange is to be okay. Going to be the encore. They're going to be able to get a kill for ISU. Some gold back into their pockets, but like you said, Will, this is uncharacteristic coming in from ISU, but it's also Will's Kittens playing this one so well. Nice use of the miasma, making sure the Darkwing can get so much damage back onto ShamWow. Nobody can touch this man. He is a god mid lane.
Yo, I didn't even notice, but Darkwing's already got Leandries before 10 minutes, man. Or at the 10-minute mark.
Okay.
Drew Dozer's trying to find some more.
Chains connecting. Going to be able to get the shutdown for Drew Dozer, but they lost the turret, and it's still going to be a kill picked up by Will's Kittens.
Man, ISU are just throwing tomatoes at a cardboard screen right now. Alex. They're trying to
this
see if they
is-
can land anything
look at
right
this.
now. They're hunting the Fizzy.
They're gonna be.
Oh!
This isn't your jungle anymore. GFP and look who's here. Trickster. He wants to be able to get himself another kill. He wants to reign
Shamwell's
supreme
here.
in the jungle, but Shamwell is going to be able to get a lot of damage back on top of him with the ultimatum. Goes golden to be able to survive. Knocked back out by Fizzy.
still
Making sure
fine.
they can try to see if they can turn it around, but they got to be careful. They're going to be the Lunar Rush back on top of
they turned
Shamwell. So much damage coming in. It's going to be a paranoia. They try jumping back in on Shamwell. Shamwell is still
Barrage.
alive, but they have so much damage on the other side. Trickster's going to be able to survive the entire time. Barely getting out, but so do GFP and ShamWow.
My heart's aching right now, Alex. I can't take this anymore, man. Why are you fighting left and right? Why is ISU trying to fight left and right? Why is Darkwing so
baby.
damn strong? There's so many questions we gotta ask.
Judozer, what are you doing?
No.
Tries to go back in. Cosmic Radiant's gonna be able to
Okay.
connect. Trying to get the kill back on to Darkwings once more. He's still alive.
Darkwing's
Gets
still
the
okay?
heal coming in, but the Dazzle
Okay.
gonna get the kill. 1-for-1 traded. Mid laners are both
Oh.
dead. Trickster's on the other side, waiting out, see if he can get more. But instead, the fight finally will come.
Oh, okay, all right. Finally, Judo's finally gets a kill on the board. But man, the man's 1-5. Darkwing's getting taken down the second time. But look at the top screen, ladies and gentlemen. They 9K ahead. Sketch Dreams has to make it out. He's still got the rocket jump, and he's still got the
Got
turret
rocket
too.
jump, no ultimatum there
fine.
for ShamWow. Waiting out the Dazzle.
he gets
got
stunned,
the
he
busted
doesn't
shot.
Okay.
Or is he
Whoa.
waiting for Trickster to be able to show up
Whoa.
here? The damage coming in from
Okay.
Sketch Dreams. The flash in from Natsuka. Not going to be able to see him. Flash inside of the brush. No mana does not matter. Even with the knockback, it's going to be a kill for 2. They got it on the side of Will's Kittens. They got nothing that they lost in that fight.
Yo, Wilskins, y'all having so much fun right now. I'm being honest. You guys are just not showing up. They have a 10-day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Alex. If I'm Wilskins, I'm just having fun. I'm just okay climbing out with ISU right now because that's what it's looking like, man. ISU, I don't know what they're going into with this kind of game plan or what they want to execute on, but mistakes galore, and along with that, punishes left and right from Wilskins. Every time you miss a hook, every time you miss a skill shot, every time you miss anything, Wilskins right there to punish straight up. And they're making it work. And this is where, if you punish a team like this, punish a team who's playing like this is the reward you get if you're Wilskins. And this is a beautiful thing on that. And Sketch Dreams, I thought he was just going to rocket jump away, but man, my boy was like, nah, bro, I'm going to flash in this bush. I can handle this. I already got my boy Trickster on the back end on my 6. Making sure I can help out.
Okay.
And they're looking good.
Look at the item lead. Not only is it the
Bruh,
10K gold
they
lead,
got
that's
mythics!
massive leads here. They can easily find these fights. Knight's Encore, but what does it do? What does it amount to? The rocket jump away. GFP taking down 2 more kills, making a 3rd kill, double kill for Trickster. In fact, they are reigning king on this map against the former kings of ISU, and they want to take him down in one of the quickest games we'll see here in the UPL.
This is the quarterfinals too, Alex. This is not a game we expect to have this fast. Judozer, of course, under the turret by
He's
himself.
1-5. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, he gets 1. That's great. But then you look at Sketch Dreams. He's godlike. 8-1-4. Kraken Slayer on deck. He has a PD by 33 minutes.
Yep.
Alex,
Yep.
Nani the F?
This is what you call a GG go next. Unfortunately for ISU, there is no go next. You have to be able to fight this game out if you want to be able to get anything further. The damage coming in from the barrels with the cannon barrage. Faisal might be able to get a 1v3 kill on a ShamWow. Burn from Trial of Fire, not going to be enough. Trickster's on the flanks, looking to see if he can get that Crescent Strike Lunar Rush in, but not going to be able to connect the Everfrost onto anybody because ShamWow had already full-on bailed out of the fight. They still have the pressure coming in, but all 5 members of ISU have been drawn up here, hoping that they can get a pick onto someone like Trickster who flashed away to be able to survive. Then he can still go in. Oh, no, wait. Now he can't. Shutdown gifted over to Judozer.
That is a good shutdown for ISU, and they are picking up some
Meanwhile,
kills that
bot
are
lane.
disrespectful for Wilskins. But yeah, you're right. Look at the map, man. Sketch Dreams and Darkwings, they're putting in some work on these turrets, and this is the 5th turret in the game right now. 15 minutes in. A gigantic change of plan from game 1 to game 2. If you were to look at game 1 and you go into game 2, you expect a close game, Alex. We expected a close game. But ISU are not looking like themselves. Wilskins are looking better than themselves right now with the way they're playing the game. And this is something we would expect in the regular season, not what we expect in quarterfinals. But Judozer is still trying to look for some action, but he ain't getting any, man.
Even with the stolen Alistar, it's not like he can really stick to the back line. You can have such an easy way to disengage coming in from Sketch Streams, as well as Buster Shot just in case. there's so little that ISU can do unless they are the ones firmly in control, firmly ahead in this game, that they are getting pushed back all the way back to their inhibitor turrets at 16 minutes in. Lunar Rush with the Skyfall coming in, trying to see if they can get the kill. But it's going to be Cosmic Radiance just in time. Trickster's dead. Trying to turn it around, but Fizzy's there to body block with the miasma to help out a little bit for Will's Kitten. ShamWow, though, he's only level 9. This ain't looking so good. Even with the jump coming in, there's a knockback away from Fizzy yet again to make sure that Ultimatum does nothing to be able to stop Will's Kitten from continuing to push up.
I want to shine some light on Fizzy right now because the man has been playing Astar like a god. He's been headbutting, pulverizing people away from his carry so well, and that was a clear example of him knocking out ShamWow away from that Hextech ultimate.
Exactly.
And make sure his AD carry is perfectly fine. Good stuff on Wilskins, and this is like honestly peak game from these guys. They're playing phenomenally, but it adds on a cherry on top that ISU aren't playing the way we've seen them play. And as you see this gigantic lead come on through, we expected a close set. Alex, we look at ISU like, you know what? I think a lot of us were favoring them, even though Hyper isn't on the starting roster anymore because he went a TSM amateur. We still expect him to play a good, clean game plan, but this is a gigantic difference from what we've seen. If they get knocked out now, their reign is over.
Well, and this is what we were kind of talking about too, that at the beginning of the season for the UPL, the side of Will's Kittens had this team that they weren't really confident with. They were constantly swapping things around because of Proving Grounds. But clearly, with this roster, with this team, they are more than confident taking down the champions in ISU. And it seems that just one simple twist and simple change coming in from ISU has been enough to make it difficult, as Faisal gets jumped on, probably going to die here in the alcove as he tries to fight back, taken down by the Kingslayer. But still, it's a massive gold lead to overcome for ISU at this point. There is a potential if Will's Kittens continue to throw a little bit of change back at them, but it's going to take a while for that.
I mean, Will's Kittens want to be generous; they definitely can, But this is where if I'm Will's Kittens, let's just end this game as soon as possible. Let's group up. Let's take these Barons. Let's do something on the board because you guys have a massive gold. There's not even no Baron on the table yet, but then you guys have a massive gold lead. Just start taking turrets left and right. Start taking and stripping these cans away so that Gloom-Free Panda does not get to farm. At this point, they're still doing a good job, but then I don't think anyone wants to see Will's Kitten play with their food for a bit. Just make sure you eat whatever ISU's giving you, and then finish your plate so that y'all move on to the next game.
Because Dredozer, he's been able to get himself a couple more kills. He was sitting 1-5 just a couple minutes ago. Now 4-6. The Silas going to be in a slightly better position. Not going to say it's a great position because he hasn't been fighting against Darkwings for some time. The 6-2 Cassiopeia or Sketchstreams' 8-1 Tristana, who is melting these turrets anytime going near them. You can see how much damage came in just from the explosive charge. There's not much that ISU are going to be able to do to stop them. In fact, they're getting chased back in with a huge encore coming in. Cosmic Radiance, dive coming in, but unfortunately GFP was not one of the ones to get it, but the dive coming in from ShamWow, trying to be able to take down Darkwings, but can't. Darkwings! Fizzy keeping him alive in the backline. Sketchstreams, he's got himself a quadra kill with that ace, losing nobody. That is going to be AOE Kittens. They've got Shelly right there. They've got the game. They've got the series, taking down the former UPL champions of ISU convincingly here in Game 2. They might even be able to get what you want, Will. Dancing Shelly.
He has 5. Shelly has 5K. She definitely can do some dancing on the floor right now, and I'm loving. Well, Will's Kitten. I love this cannon brush to stop Nostalgia.
Here we go.
I love this everything else, but we get the dancing riff here.
We get it. Though. They got the kill on the Nausicaa. ShamWow immediately blown up. I mean, to hell.
They're still winning,
ISU are completely ripped apart. And there's the dancing Shelly with 2 games picked up by AOE Will's Kittens to dominate ISU.
20 minutes in, Alex. Will's Kittens go for a mic drop in quarterfinals. I'm being honest, man. No one. Wait, did Beatdown guess 2-0 for Will's Kittens?
No.
Okay.
They guessed 2-1.
They guessed 2-1. No one expected 2-1. I didn't expect 2-1. I expect a close game. I just didn't know who was going to favor, but holy cow. Man, Will's Kittens putting on in crazy performance. Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 was definitely a close match between the two, where it felt like that was going to be a series that'd go the full mile. We'd have full 3 games. But Game 2, they said, nah, none of this. We are here to win, and ISU fell into their traps. They played into the 2v2s that we said that Will's Kittens wanted to be able to have if they had the isolated 1-on-1s
probably be fine, except for maybe mid lane. But you
Yeah.
cannot play to the win condition of your opponents.
I'm just curious what actually happened with ISU in that game too. You know, we don't really know what happened between game 1 and game 2, but definitely uncharacteristic things, as we said we were commentating that we've seen.
Hey, it happens.
Different play from all of them. We've seen better play from all of them. You know, we've seen Drew Dozer, even though sometimes he plays very volatile, we haven't seen him make those kind of mistakes, but he made a ton of mistakes. Man, he was 1-5.
Okay,
1-6
mistakes,
at that point,
yes,
man.
but Darkwings also played that very well.
he punched the
both
crap out of
games.
Drew Dozer, man.
That
It was like,
yes, maybe Drew Dozer made a couple mistakes, but Darkwings absolutely was amazing in that series.
He straight up punished Drew Dozer from all these things he was trying to go for. And credit to him, and also credit to Sketch Dreams, because both of them, I mean, honestly, the entire crew from Wilskins played out of their minds.
They did.
Fizzy, I think, made honestly, Fizzy was feeling hot, man.
He was good.
I remember the headbutt power was bottom lane. I remember him putting a ward on Wolfcamp to get the headbutt onto GFP. Just headbutting the big wolf, and then I remember the top side tier 2 fight right at the end where he just flanks all the way around, even though GFP was trying to fear him before that.
It was good. It was well done coming in from AOE Will's Kittens. They get the 2-0 victory over ISU. They dethrone the reigning champions, but we're going to toss it over to Ravish and the Deaths. They're going to take away this game and the series. So, Ravish, take it away.
Yeah. And welcome back to Desk, everybody. Thank you very much. Southern Walk and Mad Magical. You can join my Beatdown Boulevard and Mama Incon. It's well, we got a 2-0 here today, so I don't want to say that I predicted it, but I did not predict it. But it definitely was.
No one did.
Nobody. Technically, I did, but yet again, I also didn't. But these are all technicalities that we can kind of just look past, right? Should be fine. But let's talk about the game a little bit. GG's, of course, to AOE Will's Kittens for taking home 2-0. ISU put up a valiant effort as always. And Beat, let's start off with you. Talk to me a little bit about what you saw in that draft.
Yeah, and that's really where it all starts there, or where the problems start, rather, for ISU. I think, Incon, you were the one who pointed out we were watching during the game. Two main things. One, the second round phases were bans that I know Kiana was one. I could not remember the second there for Akali. Thank you. So 2 champs that Silas plays into very well. If you're going to pick Silas, maybe ban the Cassiopeia instead. And Darkwing certainly showed us why. That's probably a different, or rather a better route to go through. And not only that, you have a lot of melee champions, once again, into that very same Cassiopeia that Darkwings played. And him having such a good game and a good series is why, well, you see it on your screen. He's our MVP.
Darkwings was able to complete the Elos in just 2 games and another penta from his ADC, so really proud of his work out there. I can only imagine how much money he got paid for that one, but definitely deserved MVP for those games.
Could not agree more, though. Big shout out to Dark Wings for coming on through clutch for AOE's Little Kittens and taking them home, bro. Shout out to my man doing his thing out here. Now, of course, as former coach Incon, I'm sure you're very proud of him for giving you a good game. Okay, the question is, okay, after this, let's say, you saw this game happen and you're the coach of AOE's Little Kittens, specifically for Dark Wings, what are you telling him?
Keep it up, man. I mean, I don't. It was hard to give an MVP to anyone if I'm being realistic. We saw Sketch Streams play a very good game. We played we watched Faisal play the GP top really well. He played the Karma top really well. He just plays scaling picks really well. So honestly, AOE, right? I hate to give a single player MVP because I think in order for a team to play well, everyone on the team does have to play together. So right, kudos to them. Also, ISU did try their best. I don't want to knock them down, right? AOE is a very tough team to come up against given their pieces. I think AOE has 2 or 3 players above 1 KLP, so it was a tall order for them today, right? But if I am Darkwing's coach, I am just saying, right, keep doing what you're doing, keep playing the control mages. It's what you do best. It's what you do better than I think anyone in amateur does right now. You don't need to fix the wheel. You don't need to change the wheel. You just need to improve upon the wheel like you are.
Very, very well said. Wow. I know, Beaton, I know you're getting emotional, bro. I might be too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Damn. That's you know what, bro? That's it for the deaths. I don't think I can say anything more past that.
Yeah, we've peaked.
That's it. Yeah. It's remember here, friends. We'll have more games for y'all tomorrow. So y'all want to make sure to come back. We want to thank our casters and of course our production crew for making us look good as always. Incon, appreciate you coming on and dropping absolute banger vibes throughout the entire day.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
No, man. It's thank
Always
you
fun.
for being here. No, this is my experience way better by you being here, Broski. Pizza Boulevard, you existed with me. I appreciate you for that.
Got you, bro.
I have been
Oh, you got a
ravish.
little camera switch and whatnot? That's hard.
What you mean, bro? We just
Is it
do our
to my
thing,
right?
right?
Is it to my right? Yeah, I feel like to my right. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Oh, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing,
You good,
Incon?
you good? Hey,
Well, thanks for coming on.
You good? Hey, wait, hold on. Hey,
Hey.
hey. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Tomorrow, I've been ravish. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.